Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2, episode 1 of Blue Couch Chat. Um, Welcome back to Blue Couch Chat. That's all I can say. I'm your host, Shannon, and after a season full of unforgettable conversations and some that were very memorable and unfortunately a little sad now because, Lee Silverstein, our special guest from episode 1 of season 1, and the reason behind all of this, and also the reason why I even know our special guest tonight because of Podfest. He passed away not even a week after that first episode aired, and I still have not been able to look back at it. I don't know if anybody else has, but just join us in the chat, join us in comments. I'm just happy to be back. I'm it's been a long time coming. I'm sorry for leaving you guys for so long. But season 1 was a lot of unforgettable conversations, all unforgettable, and we shared a lot of deep truths, and there was a lot of powerful storytelling. And now we're back for season 2. As I said, this is episode 1. And before we jump in, I just want to take a moment to thank every guest who joined us on the Blue Couch in season 1, especially all the people who came on our unforgettable premiere episode. You guys just made it so special and so beautiful, and I never got a chance to tell you, but it left Lee in such a happy mood for days. People were getting back to me and saying what kind of impact we had on him in episode 1 and what we did out of love and all of the love that we showered him with. So I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's liked, commented, shared, especially those who subscribed and those who are going to do it after this episode. I'm grateful for you in advance. Um, Before we jump in, I also just want to thank every guest for each episode: Grace De La Rosa, David Dubin, Kathy Bowers, Fallon Irvin. Um, Gosh, there's just so many. Tim McDonald, just Tim Sohn for being a co-host out of the blue sometimes and just being supportive of me, especially in episode 1. And he also offered to even help me with this episode, but I was like, nah, me and Paula got this, although I've been, away for a while, MIA. So I know it's been a minute since y'all have seen me, and I know I've apologized for being MIA. I do live in Miami, so I guess it is kind of, it makes sense. I was MIA for a while, but I want to be real with you. I took some time away to focus on my mental health. Sorry for being emotional, but we're talking shit, right? This is a safe place to talk about our shit, so I'm going to talk about it. I took some time away to focus on my mental health and to keep pushing with my advocacy work behind the scenes, despite what I was going through with anxiety and depression since my last episode. Healing isn't linear. Grief isn't linear, and I've been experiencing a lot of both in the past year. As some of you know all of it, some of you know some of it, some of you know none of it at all. But sometimes the healer needs space to breathe too. And I knew that I couldn't come and be on Blue Couch Chat if I wasn't myself. I wouldn't have been able to be there for everyone else if my own cup wasn't full. And so I took some time away to do that. And it was a really hard decision. And I know I kind of left y'all in a lurch. And a lot of you were worried about me. And I apologize about that. But I am grateful for everyone who reached out to me, and especially those who supported me. And I especially want to give a thanks to my mom, my godmother, Sheila, my bro fam, Tim Sohn. And I want to give a special thank you to Grace De La Rosa. She drove here from Jacksonville. She drove to Miami to spend a few days with me because she realized that I was in a really bad place. And she's been more than a friend. And I'm just super, super, super grateful for her for doing that. She truly has saved my life on many occasions. And I'm grateful. So this season, we're diving even deeper. We're going to be talking a lot about mental health. I realize that part of why I created Blue Couch Chat is about mental health. And we're going to get into that in the conversation with Paula and the decision that I've made about Blue Couch Chat going forward. This is a safe place to talk about your shit. And it's not just colorectal cancer shit, physical shit, literal shit, but it's the shit of life. It's the shit life throws at us. It's the shit that we go through. It's the shit that we've been through. It's the shit that we've overcome. It's the shit that we're overcoming. It's just the real shit. And this is the safe place to talk about it. So that brings me to my dear friend Paula, who's our special guest tonight. She is a huge mental health advocate. She has her own podcast / live stream, Talk Shit with P, hence the title for this episode being Talking Shit with P. She might be small in stature, but she makes up for it in personality and energy. She just has this aura that just, she is the entire room. Like, she walks into a room, she takes over the room, not just being a light in the room. And she is the party, not just the life of the party. So I do want to say that she's a voice that brings not only experience, but heart and truth when it comes to mental health. And mental health is so often overlooked, especially in the Black community and people of color. And the pressure to be strong, to survive, to carry generations on our backs, literally, it's real. But so is the need to rest, like I did, to feel, to heal, like I've been doing. And that's what this conversation is all about. So pull up a seat, grab your tea, shameless plug, and let's see how have this conversation and really chat about this shit and talk shit with P. Because this conversation will continue, and right here we'll get real loud and real. Let's bring Paula online. Hey Paula, welcome. How are you?
Hey. I am good. Thank you for having me. I am excited. I don't get to do this as often as I used to, so it's exciting to be here.
I am so grateful for you coming on. I know it was kind of a little bit of short notice, but I'm always on Colored People Time, Jamaican time. So we kind of do things spontaneously, but I was willing to work around your schedule. And I'm just super grateful for you being here. I've missed you so much and seeing your face.
Technically, we worked around your schedule. Uh, but anytime I get a chance to speak about mental health, I'm there. And when you called me, first of all, I was looking at my screen like, should I answer this call right now? Because I was in a peaceful mood. And sometimes, Shannon, you don't come with peace. I love you very much, but I was
Sometimes I
looking
bring
at
the
my
drama. I can admit that. Sometimes I bring the
I,
drama. I'm sorry.
I was, oh no, never be sorry for who you are. We all have a little drama in us. Like, there's nobody out there who doesn't have a little bit of drama in them. So I was looking at this call and I was like, Then I was like, let's hear what she gotta say. Because again, I hadn't heard from you in a minute. So that's why when you asked me to do this with you, I jumped up to it. I did not hesitate because again, it's mental health and hearing from your struggles, and also if it was one way I could support getting you back to doing what you're meant to be doing, hell to the fucking yes. So thank you for thinking about me as your first one. I don't know if that was a great idea, but baffling decision, but hey, it's your show, so here we are.
I couldn't think of anybody else to have as my first guest, Paula. I mean, we're both have different experiences. No, you didn't experience cancer, but everybody experiences life. And anybody who's lived has experienced shit.
Technically, I
And
experienced cancer because I'm a cancer. Like, wrong joke.
so you're the good type of cancer. If you're the only good type of cancer, I got you. I like that one. There is one good type of cancer. That's this astrological sign. Yes, I'll give you that one. But I had the shitty cancer. Cancer is shitty, but colorectal cancer is extra shitty. So just like you, I talk a lot of shit. And so I was like, who else to talk shit with for this episode and it being Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And who else is such a huge mental health advocate? I couldn't I couldn't think to have anybody else for episode 1 but you. Like, you're the epitome of everything that Blue Couch Chat is about. We both talk shit. We both have it as our motto, talking shit. This is a safe place to talk about shit. You're always talking shit with P, and you had me on as a guest, and it was a lot of fun. I was just like, what better way to come back than to have Paula? And I knew your energy was we're gonna just bring it, you know? And so I really appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate all the support you've given me from day one. Before day one, you've been supporting me. And I'm just grateful, and we support each other. But let's talk about you and why you created Talking Shit with P, why you believe that talking shit is important.
Um, One, I feel like it's a lot easier to be honest when you're talking shit because everybody just assumes you're talking shit. Uh, and half of the time, I myself don't even believe the shit I be saying, I be talking, and then people come to me and they're like, "You said this." I'm like, "Oh, I did? Okay, cool." But so I feel like when it comes to creating a safe space, right? People, it's not as easy as people think to get people to be vulnerable, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with their real emotions and feelings. Uh, so that's why anybody who has met me, I, I'm gonna do this thing called your first impression of Paula when you first meet her, because a thousand of people will tell you that I have made them uncomfortable before making them comfortable, and to me that's an easier way of skipping the small talk. I hate small talk, and maybe also that's why the title "Talk Shit with P" came, because I was like, everybody's gonna wanna talk shit, because everybody has shit to say. They
Mm-hmm.
just need to look at it in a different way or a different term. So once I did that, and people come on my show, and literally most people will tell you, "I can't believe I shared that. This is the first podcast where I went and I talked about that." And because you just talk shit and people eventually just share shit with you until you're like, "Oh
Right.
shit, did we actually talk about that? Yes, we did." But it's okay. This
Right.
is a safe space. Talk your shit. So it's natural for me to talk shit. And I've built such a incredible brand that I personally got lost in it. And it's a good problem to have, but also when you're trying to figure out yourself, it's a bad problem to have. Like everybody wants to create a strong brand and to actually have a purpose. Talk Shit with P is a strong brand. It has a purpose of creating a safe space, and it has done that. Um,
Right.
and that's why we're ending it this year. I feel like for right now, Talk Shit with P has done its purpose, and I love the person it made me become. And all that is because of talking shit. So if that answers your question.
It does. And to be honest, you never made me feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
I saw you.
then we should do it again, because the whole point is to make people feel uncomfortable. Like I literally enjoy doing that.
No, honestly, I saw you in the room, and I think somebody was carrying you on their back or something because you're so tiny.
Oh
Everyone was
shit.
carrying you around, and I was like, and you're having so much fun, and everybody was like loving on you. And I was just like, I want to know that girl. Like, she just seems like a lot of fun. And then I don't even remember how we connected, but it was like I just instantly just I was just like, this girl is real. She's raw. And I was like, I just want to know her.
Just
So for
FYI, people, this
me,
was a pod fest. I don't walk around getting carried around. Okay, this this is a pod fest. Just to put it out there.
I yes, disclaimer. But I just I just immediately was drawn to you and your energy. And you're right, it was at Podfest. And at Podfest, I want everybody to know that Podfest, we're all family. You know, I love you, girl. We're all family. And they're just so supportive. And I just want to thank Chris and, especially Andrew and Chris for being so supportive of me through this journey. And knowing how much Lee meant to me. And Tim is asking if we're live, if we're getting lost in the shit, and to let him know if we have to take a shit. I think we both did that because we already did that ahead of time because we're both hosts, so we
No,
know to
I've
take care of
I've
our
been
bathroom
holding
business
mine.
ahead of
I
time.
feel like I should take shit while I'm talking shit.
That would work. That's on theme.
I mean, and colonel cancer, so right on point. But no, thank you, Tim.
Hey, Mark. We have Mark laughing, which is the whole point of this. When I approached Paula, I told her, I said, I didn't want this to be an interview. I wanted this to be a conversation. And Paula, just message me anytime that you have to go because I think we might go a little bit longer
That's why
because
I
there's so
came
much to talk
with
about.
my big ass glass of wine. I'm ready to talk. Let's go, baby.
Oh, I love this. See, I brought my coconut water so I could be hydrated. Because I did have the shits last night and yesterday.
Today has been
So
one
yeah.
hell of an emotional day. So I almost canceled on you. That's how emotional it was. But I was like, mental health and the way I've been emotionally drained today, I was like, perfect day for this. And after this, I'm literally going dark. I am shutting out all my devices and staying off for like 24 hours because I need that. Because today has been one hell of a day. But here
I
we are.
hear you. Do you want to talk about it? Because this is a safe place for it.
No, we'll get into that. I feel like it will just dive in, but I've
Okay.
done enough venting of it, and so I'm this part. I'm learning. I'm learning to pause when I'm mad and angry, and to reflect and to let it sit with me and see how I could have handled it differently, a situation, before I go venting or before I talk it out. But then I also have incredible, incredible support around me that allows me to process it in the moment hold without me having to watch my words, and then allow me to sit on it. So I was able to do that in the morning, and then I crashed out, and then I woke up and released, and here we are. So I'm excited, but it's Amanda would call it a mindset switch, and I feel like I'm happy that I'm learning these tools. And that's the whole thing about mental health, right? I feel like once you know your triggers, if you have the right tools, you can avoid getting into that depression or that anxiety because you I'm choosing that I'm looking for the right word. You recognize what you're feeling.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do think that self reflection and taking time to process is really important. I was recently diagnosed with complex PTSD, um, depression, general anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder. I also have contamination anxiety disorder due to my cancer, and I think COVID just made it worse. I'll wash my hands about a million times a day. I'm surprised I have any hands left. um, and I'll wipe my floors continuously, and I'm just really OCD in terms of germs. I'm a germaphobe. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, not just cancer, which I think this is like the perfect episode to talk to, Paula about this stuff. I also had a hard day, Paula. I've been in pain. I've been having diarrhea for the past few days. Yeah,
It's
the
fine.
real shit, running shit. I was literally pissing out my ass, up to this morning. And then I slept all day yesterday, all day today. So I know I was slipping into depression. And luckily, I had a appointment scheduled with my therapist, and I was able to talk that out. Um, but a lot of people don't know that I have these struggles. Cancer doesn't just leave your life when it's done physically and you no longer have cancer. Cancer affects your life forever. And especially when you have colon cancer, I have a lot of digestive issues. I get dehydrated really easy. I have really bad anxiety, depression, insomnia. Um, Chemo has made me have cognitive disorder. So I have a bad attention span that I never had before. I have difficulty focusing, difficulty remembering things. I have brain fog, all these things. And so, and then on top of that, just to go into some of my traumas of why I'm really big on mental health, and especially in the Black community, because in the Black community, we tend to go through a lot of trauma and we don't talk about it. And if you don't know my background, I'm Jamaican, but I'm mixed. My dad's side is Chinese Jamaican, so Chinese and Black. And my mom's side is also mixed with Black. And we especially are told to not talk about stuff, to not talk about your shit. Um, and yes, Cooper, I more than caught up on my sleep. I kind of slept a little too much. And so I was a little unprepared for tonight, but I hope that y'all don't know that. But I
I mean,
just
you
told you,
just
so I
told
guess now
them.
you do. This is
You
what I
told them
love life.
yourself.
I
Proud of
did. I
yourself.
did. I did.
And I'm trying
And
to.
uh
Sorry. What's Tim's question?
oh, what moments, I guess, what
What's the
moments,
one? Yeah.
I guess, stand out for you from all your episodes?
Okay, finish what you were talking about because we got
Okay.
distracted and then we'll get into
No.
that. Tim, I'll answer
So,
your question, I promise, baby.
so I was at a birthday party for my aunt in New York, and I found out some news about family history regarding cancer during that event. And I went up to one of my aunts. She might have been a little inebriated, so I'll give her grace. I try to give people grace. But I asked her, I said, why don't we talk about this shit? It's important for me to know my family history, especially as it relates to cancer. And she was like, because you're always talking about your shit. You don't know when and when to not talk about your shit. And we're tired of hearing about your shit. And I
Oh,
was like,
damn.
oh, okay. And so that was like literally like a month before I started Blue Couch Chat. And that's when I was like, that's going to be my motto, the safe place to talk about your shit. So I turned that into a positive. So I no longer think of what she said as a negative because I've turned it around into something positive for me and hopefully for everyone else. And then the other thing that I just want to talk about real quickly is, I've had trauma. A lot of us women, we've dealt with sexual assault. I've dealt with multiple sexual assaults, including rape. That's how I lost my virginity. It was somebody that I knew a week before my 17th birthday. So I will never forget. It was March 13th and it was a Sunday. Um, and I had a boyfriend and we were saving it for marriage. And one of my friends took me out to the movies for my birthday and he raped me. And yeah, so I've carried that. And then I was sexually assaulted my first semester of college in New York, and I had to drop out of college the first time. So I didn't get my degree until I was 29 because I overcame and I went back to school and I finally finished. And when I was doing my bachelor's the second time in architecture, which is hard enough, I had cancer and didn't know that I was literally dying while going to school. So I was diagnosed literally a month before my graduation and just between finishing classes and graduation. And I was misdiagnosed for a very long time. And then on top of that, like that's not enough shit. I I lost I've lost a lot of friends and I carry grief. And I, especially as people know, I lost my friend Yuli in December, and he's been by my side, and I was by his side for 7 years out of his 8 year journey. I was the first person he met as a fellow survivor, and I was his biggest advocate, his biggest cheerleader, and we were almost like husband and wife, although we were just best friends. And he passed away unexpectedly in December on the 23rd, and I found out while getting ready to go to my aunt's house, my godmother's house, for Christmas Eve dinner. And I was in the shower and I got the call. And that really set me for a loop, especially because I had just gone through a breakup with the love of my life who had taken me ring shopping 2 weeks before, early in December. And so it was just one thing after another. And then in May, I lost my dog who I've had for 10 years, Remy. And he was my other best friend and my biggest supporter, and the reason why I'm still alive in a lot of ways. And it's just been one thing after another, you know, and especially after losing Lee last year and my friend Kayla, I've lost so many close friends, and it's just been really, really hard. It's been some hard shit. I've been through domestic violence, and we in the Black community, especially as Black women, we go through the sexual assault, the domestic violence a lot, and we don't talk about it like I never did until now. The only other time that I spoke about any of this publicly was on Tim Stone's show, his live event, when I was his guest. So, you know, it's there's so much stigma about colon cancer, cancer, shit, mental health, domestic violence, rape, sexual assault, depression, anxiety. Like all of those things have a stigma in our community, and the stigma kills. You know, like I lost my best friend, and not even a week later, I had a close friend call me and say, as a Black woman, you need to toughen up. You can't be talking and crying about your friend on social media. People think you're having a breakdown and you're going crazy. And somebody else said that people thought I was on drugs because I was sharing what I was going through. And my friend said, how do you expect Blue Couch Chat to be successful if you air your shit out on social media? And I thought to myself, I didn't even respond, but I was like, that's exactly why I created Blue Couch Chat, so people can have a safe place. And if it's not a safe place for me, then how do I expect it to be a safe place for everyone else? Or for everyone else to feel like it's a safe place? And so I know I've been really heavy tonight. So we're gonna lighten it up a bit and we're gonna go back to Paula. But I just and she can be heavy too if she needs to be, because this is the talk shit episode. So we're gonna just air our shit out. And honestly, sharing all of that just now was really freeing. And I've been going to therapy to heal from that and childhood traumas. And I don't know if anybody knows, but cancer survivors have an increased risk of suicide. So do people in the Black community, and of suffering through depression alone, because we're told that we can't talk about our shit, and we feel that we're alone and we don't have a safe place. And because of the stigma of going to get help, they think that if you're going through therapy that you're crazy, and if you're on medication you're crazy, and that is not the truth. Mental health care is health care. It is self-care, it is self-love. And so yes, I see a psychiatrist, and yes, I see a therapist, and at one point I was seeing two therapists, and it's helped me a lot with the healing. And I don't know if people know, but childhood trauma, childhood stress, and even just regular stress, there's a gut brain body connection, and any kind of stress can make you have pain. And stress and lack of sleep and all of this go together, and then they cause illnesses like diabetes and heart attacks and strokes and cancer. So to take care of your mental health is to take care of your physical health. And so I'm going to leave it to Paula now, because I want to hear, you know, why she is such a big advocate for mental health, especially in our community and for people who look like us. Go ahead.
Wow, that was a lot to unpack.
Sorry.
No,
That was some
don't
Louis
ever,
Vuitton, Coach, Fendi. I have a
don't
whole lot of Black
ever,
baggage.
don't ever apologize for letting go of what's your heaviness, you know. I am so sorry you have gone through all that,
I
but
just unpacked my entire backpack and just left it out there. That's what I just did.
but I am grateful for your strength, because people assume that taking your life is the easy way out, but continue to keep pushing when one part of you is telling you to end it all. That's the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
To keep pushing through everything. And I want to say, Cooper had mentioned that, wow, I hope your boyfriend, when you were 16, knew that wasn't your fault. I really hope he stood by you and helped you through that time. And if not, fuck that.
Actually, no, I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the biggest regrets I have in my life. So at
You didn't
Danny
tell him.
James, there's so many in this world. If you're watching, I am sorry for breaking up with you and not telling you why. It is one of the biggest regrets I've ever had breaking up with you. You are the best guy I've ever been with, and we were so young. So if somebody knows Danny James, please let him know that I have regrets and I'm sorry, and let him know why. But he was going through his own rough time. He's a very family oriented person, and his parents were going through a divorce, and he was taking it very hard. And so, because I didn't want to dump my shit on top of his shit out of love for him, I said, I think we should just be friends. And I never got the opportunity to explain. And then he did contact me when I was in college, my first semester, and it was the same week after I was sexually assaulted, so it really wasn't the right time to say, "Hey, I'm getting married." And he was saying how he'll never love her the way that he loved me, and she'll never be me. And his mom called me begging me to tell him that I still loved him because she knew that I did, and that he didn't she didn't feel like this woman was the right fit for him, and that they were young and they were rushing into it. They obviously weren't together for very long. And I did tell him that I loved him still. Still didn't explain to him what I was going through then, or what I had been going through when I broke up with him. And instead, when I told him that I loved him still, he said, "Well, I'm still getting married." And I said, "Well, you know what? I don't appreciate you playing with my emotions. And so just pretend that you never knew me. If you see me walking on the street, just keep on walking. I never want to see you again or hear from you again." It was a really emotional time for me, and I probably didn't handle things the way that I should have. I kind of have the tendency to do that. Sorry, Paula. But
We're not
I,
gonna get into that, but also I feel like you should
yeah,
also give your younger self grace. I think not only your younger self, when somebody is raped, no matter what age you are, we have this weird shame in us, and sometimes also blaming ourselves. Like, maybe I shouldn't have gone to the movie theater. Maybe I shouldn't trust that. Maybe I did something to make him feel like he can have access to me. So it's not something easy. That's why when a lot of people get sexually assaulted, takes them years before they come and open up. I was sexually assaulted when I was in college, and nobody knew about it. And even my dad found out about. I had to call my dad to tell him when I had to sit with a psychologist, and she had to write a report on me, and I knew my dad was going to get it, and I wasn't sure what was going to be in that report. So I had to tell him the truth. But also, knowing my dad, if I would have told him the truth when I was in college, that guy would have gotten on a flight and came to Malaysia and killed that boy. And I wasn't about to lose my dad. So sometimes we also fear telling people we love, because you don't know how they are going to react as well.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they always either, I'm going to kill the motherfucker, or they blame you, and you don't want either, because that is a responsibility you have to sit on again. So now I have to calm you down when I'm the one who had to go through all this shit. Yeah, make it make sense. So give your younger self grace. And about the black woman should, and that's something I experienced today, and I literally said I'm gonna look like the black angry girl, because I'm sharing my emotions, and I was called a victim because I brought awareness to something I wasn't gonna fuck with. And
yeah,
if that makes me a victim to you, kudos to you. But to me, I've never been a victim. I'll never be a victim. I don't see myself as a victim, and you're not gonna shut me up. I am gonna be loud, and if you wanna see me as an angry black girl, fine. And even somebody one time told me, maybe you shouldn't call your company rap shit with P. Nobody would want to work with you. I'm like, if somebody takes offense to that, that's somebody I don't want to work with, to be honest, because they're not my people. And hell, I think rap shit with P is very fucking funny and interesting. Like, what do you mean? So, all these people who feel they have an opinion, I feel like everybody thinks we should act a certain way because either we are black or either we are Africans or either you are a female. You should act a certain way to be acknowledged or
Mhm.
given that space or whatever. Fuck that shit. I am sorry. I am tired of playing in these rules that, first of all, who created these rules? There's no, and
Yeah.
I feel like because we're trying so much to do what society considers normal, is why our mental health is also struggling, is why we're getting depressed or anxiety because we have to show up a certain way instead of just showing up as you are. We have to hold our tongue back because we're going to be labeled as this or that. We're going to, and I'm tired. I'm tired of, and ever since I stopped, I don't care what the fuck you think about me. As long as I'm
Yeah.
okay with how I think about myself and how I show up for myself, and the right people will come and I'll be surrounded. And that's why lately I've been very mindful in the communities I associate myself with and where my presence is, because that's part of my mental health and my peace.
Right. It is. I mean, the thing is that we can't, sometimes to process things, we have to talk about it. And I never really felt like I had a safe place to talk about my stuff. My dad and my grandfather have been very safe places for me, but sometimes my dad doesn't, he's a fixer. And so when he can't fix things, he has a very hard time. And a lot
African
of my
dads,
shit
my
you
dad
can't
too.
fix.
Yeah.
You know, my stuff you can't fix. My stuff you can't buy an iPad and make it better. You can't buy some screws and some tape and put me back together. And so, sometimes when I call my dad crying, he's like, "What do you want me to do?" And sometimes I have to just be like, "Dad, I just need you to listen." Or, "Dad, I just need you to hug me." But my dad has been very supportive. And my mom, she's hit or miss. It depends what mood she's in, but I love her. Sometimes she's the "it wasn't your fault," and then sometimes it's the "well, you asked for it." So, you never know which one she's going to say, what's going to come out of her mouth. So I guess that's the uncensored side of me. That's where I get that from. Sometimes her
I
not
get
having a
that my
sense is
attitude from
good.
my mom too. There was a time in UK,
Yeah.
my mom went and bought me a t-shirt that said, "Don't give me your attitude. I already have my own." I'm like, where do you think I got it from? Like, excuse me? Duh. Like, you're the most attitude person. And my mom, and the thing is, me and my mom don't get along. And I think
Yeah.
because we are so much alike, even to the extent I look like my mom. At one point, I almost asked my dad if I was adopted, but I look so much like my mom to have not come out of her coochie. So I know she's my mom, but like our attitude, facial expression, like when my mom is angry, you see it on the face. When my mom, and that's me as well. I cannot hide irritation from my face. I cannot hide peace. And that's why, like, people know, even when people who don't know me, they can know me. Like, you can tell when I'm mad or when I'm happy. Like, the look on my face will give it away. And sometimes I'm
Yeah.
just tired and irritated. Like, I don't want to be here, but you're making me be here. So don't ask me what's mad. Or people ask me stupid questions. I'm very sarcastic, and then I'm gonna respond, and then you're gonna get mad. Why did you ask
Right.
stupid question if you don't want a fucking stupid answer? I'm sorry. Like, see, I'm getting irritated already.
But I do want to say, we were talking about our families, and I brought up in the intro about generations that we're carrying on our backs, right?
Mhm.
I do believe in generational trauma, and I do
Oh
believe
yeah,
that we
and that's
black
why we need to
people,
break them.
right, the circles. So my mom, I have to give her kudos. She is one tough ass bitch, and I say that with all respect, mom. My cousin, I have to give her a special shout out, Chef Suisaki. Sue, I love you. Please reach out to me after because I want to talk to you. I miss you. I have to tell her a special thank you because that wonderful the bomb theme that I have for my theme song, she's the one who chopped and screwed the shit out of that and created that theme in 20 minutes and sent it to me WhatsApp. And it was perfect. And every time I have an episode, I think of her. She is super talented and I love her. She's my sis.
I
And
love it. Give people their
she
flowers.
has,
This is what I love. Give people their
she
flowers while
has,
they can accept them.
She is
Kudos to you,
super
chef.
talented, and people do not see the talent that she has, but I've always seen that talent, and I've always supported everything that she does, and I will continue to always support everything that she does, even if we don't speak for a while. My love for her, she is more than a sister to me, Paula. And she said,
Speaking
love you,
of
Kazu, but
this,
I love you, sis.
speaking of this, so can I get this hat?
Yes, the Blue Couch Chat hat.
Yeah, but can you make mine purple?
Girl, it's blue because it's Blue Couch Chat.
I know, but this is gonna be exclusive blue couch talking shit.
How about I can do one better? How about I make the hat and it's blue, but the logo is purple?
Sure,
Or I'll make it work. I'll make it work with
I'll
blue
take it.
and purple. I make a
But
blue and purple hat. I got you.
there we
I
go.
got you.
But I wanna Tim earlier had asked me the moments that stand out for. I wanna answer that real quick, and especially since we were talking about family, right? When I started my podcast, I always thought I would ask, but I never imagined having my family on my podcast. So I have incredible episodes with incredible people who have shared some incredible shit in there, some that they didn't even think they would share, and 200 episodes, like, and we are not even talking about the shit happens ones which are on YouTube. So, but to have my dad, my mom, my bonus mom, my sister, and she's bougie as fuck, but she can't, and she's the one who really doesn't open up as much. But the fact that
Mhm.
she came and talked about postpartum and went really raw and honest, and my brother who's a recovering addict and who now encourages teens to stay away from drugs, and how and that uh you life can be better after drugs because he's living proof. He has been sober for
Right.
almost 10 years. He celebrated 10, it should
Wow.
be 12 or 13 years now. And the last time he overdosed, we almost thought we were going to lose him. So the fact that, so to have them to come and talk, and because of me and my dad's episode, we also got invited to another episode, another podcast for our Father's Day episode. And to have, because again, when my dad came on my podcast, he was my guest, I was the host. But to go on another podcast and we are both guests, and he's in Tanzania, I'm here, the host is somewhere else. But to have that conversation, and the host was African. So for them to feel like my relationship with my dad, for them to see it as interesting, because it's not a normal African relationship. My dad didn't raise me as African. That's why there's sometimes I can't relate to certain things because I really wasn't raised African, and I wasn't raised in Africa half of my life. But to just have that, so those are the moments that stand out, that me and my dad can do this. Right now he says he'll never come back to my podcast again until I have a studio. He sent me this clip of, I think it was Nigga, when his kids were having him on their podcast, and they were showing the studio. I was like, unless you have this kind of studio, I'm not coming. I'm like, well then help me build it, like, excuse me. But just that, and the fact that they believed me enough, or liked my platform for them to come. And my dad used to watch almost a lot of my episodes, where there's some, like when I did an episode with accidental swingers, I was like, Dad, please don't listen to this, because we were talking sex, and I shared shit in there that I don't think my dad should have listened to. So, but that was part of what stood out for me in Talk Whippy. And as I mentioned, Talk Whippy is coming to an end this year, and we are recording the final season 10, which is gonna come out in September. The lineup and how I'm doing this season, I feel like that is gonna also stand up for me. The moment I've already recorded with Joe Ruben from Mopad, we had so much fun recording that, and I feel like that this season is really gonna wrap Talkshow with P in the best way possible. So yeah,
Mhm.
I love everything I have created with Talkshow with P, and I, whether people are proud of me or not, I am fucking proud of myself, and that's all. Cooper says, Paula, you can run a company or a division, however the hell you want. You're not beating on people for no reason. Hell to the fuck yeah. Say it louder, Cooper. Say it
Mm-hmm.
louder. I love Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Me
Cooper.
too. Me too. I love his comments, and I just want to shout out to
And
Sue
thank you
again
for
and just
hanging with us. I appreciate
yes.
that.
And I want to thank Tim and Sue and Cooper and everyone watching and commenting for all the love and support that you've given for both of us. Because some people are Paula's followers and friends as well, supporting her and supporting me. And I'm just super grateful. And just keep the comments coming because, as you can see, we're being very interactive. And
If you
we
have
both have
questions, put
ADHD,
them
so
there. You have remarks, put them there. We are here to have a good time, not for a long time.
and just FYI, I am not censoring the comments. These comments are coming up on screen as you guys put them in. So I'm not pre-seeing and selecting comments at all. So y'all, you're uncensored. Just put up what you want to put up. Air that shit out. Um I do want to say though that with my mom and her family, there's a lot of generational pain, and especially in her generation. And so I try to give my mom grace because she has had to overcome a lot. But I really admire her and I'm really proud of her for all that she's overcome. And she's given me a really good example of how to be strong.
Can I ask you a
Um,
question?
Although she doesn't cry and I cry.
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
question right there before we go deeper? Because you can yap, 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 and I lose myself.
I love you
How,
co-hosting here.
how much grace do you have to give to the point where it's like, okay, because for me, I love my mom and she will always be my mom. But I
Mhm.
stopped giving her grace because at some point I get it. You had a tough life. That's how you were raised. Kudos, blah, blah, blah. Survived all that shit. I respect. I honor it. Proud of you and everything. But
Mhm.
if we are not moving positively, right? If you don't want to hear me and you're choosing to blame everything on that shit, even though we have already acknowledged it, but you're using to use that, how much grace is too much grace?
I've been asking myself that same question up until today. I think that you can give grace and you can forgive, but in doing that, you also have to have healthy boundaries and you have to be able to set boundaries in a healthy way. And so that is something that I am working on. And so what I'm learning is that although I love my mom and there's a lot of things that I can talk to her about, there are some things that I just don't share with her. And
Thank
so
you.
that's
I
something,
just
it's a
wanted
learning process.
I wanted you to say that because I needed you to do that. I put boundaries. I've come to terms with, listen, my mom will never get it. I'm over it. So it is what it is. I've put
Mhm.
boundaries and I'm okay with it. Me and my mom can go a month, 2 months without talking and then randomly, hi, you good, good, yes. And then we'll get
Mhm.
on a call and talk for 2 hours and then, okay, see you in 2, 3 more months. Cool. My dad, if he doesn't hear from me in 2 days, it's like, yo, he will call my phone to the extent like he'll even message my ex, like, is Paul okay? Can you go find out if Paul is okay? I'm like, why are you still talking to my ex? Anyways, that should be the question right now. But then, and
It should
then
be.
there's my brother, who every time I love the boy. He's talented, but he's also so I've learned to protect myself because he knows how to suck you in, and as soon as he suck you in, the circle continues. Like he'll tell you, "I've changed, I've grown," and you're like, "Oh my god, yes, come here!" And
Mhm.
then back to it, and I'm like, "No." So even if we only message each other on holidays and birthdays and special occasions, or every now and then. One time I called my younger brother, and he put my brother on the phone, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I hung up. I didn't call. I could have called my big brother if I wanted to. That's not who I was calling. So healthy boundaries is important. I feel like once you understand the problem and you have acknowledged the problem to the person and the person is not acting properly to that, they do not want to deal with it, set them boundaries. I don't care if it's your mother, I don't care if it's your brother, I don't care if it's whoever. It's okay to set boundaries and it's okay to love people from afar.
Mhm. I
I feel like
agree.
sometimes people need permission slip on that. So here's your permission slip. Go on and love people from afar. Fuck them people.
I agree. It's funny because one of the things that my mom, sometimes my mom doesn't understand boundaries. And sometimes when I try to set boundaries or I try to say, okay, I'm going to end this conversation before I get upset and I can't filter my tongue, and then I get slick. Let me end this call, mom. Mom, have a nice night. Goodbye. And it's, why do you always run away from, things like this? And I'm just like, because
Oh,
you know what? You can't have a conversation with somebody who's not ready to have a conversation.
exactly. And African moms love playing the I'm your mom game. Oh, you gotta listen to me. Like,
Oh,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. You give back to me, but baby, I'm 36 right now. I'm paying my own bills and shit. Like, you can tell me shit. No, you can tell me shit, but I'm gonna block your ass.
Well, like I'm 40, I'm 43, putting myself out there. I'm 43 and my mom is still on some, you're still my child. And so, with my dad, it's like, you're grown. I've been grown for a minute according to my dad, but I'll always be daddy's girl. I love my dad, so much. He's been such a positive force in my life and he's always been supportive of me. Um, Even if I didn't understand his love languages before, but I do now. But with my mom, we've always had a very tumultuous relationship, but she's always been there for me in her own way. Like when I needed her most, when I had cancer, she was my ride or die. She used to change my ostomy bags for me when I didn't want to deal with it. She took off
I
of
mean,
work.
a
I
mom
don't even
is
know
always
how long
gonna
she
be
took
a
off of work.
mom. A mom is always
Yeah.
gonna be a mom. But
But I
also,
think me
that
and my
doesn't
mom are just too
mean
alike.
it should come with disrespect. I mean, I have so many friends. This also comes in friendship, right? Sometimes this thing of no new friends or my day ones. Sometimes your day ones are your downfall because there are some people who don't want to see you evolve or grow,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they will play that game. Oh, but I've been here with you since day one. Oh, I have done this, and I hate this thing of people when you're mad or angry, they bring up the things they've done to you because that means
Mhm.
it
It
wasn't
wasn't genuine.
yes. And somebody in a community last year threw that on my face. They're like, but we did this for you. I was like, oh, so that's how you feel. Cool. And
Mhm.
I stopped supporting anything or taking anything for free because why? So that you can come throw it on my face. And mind you, it wasn't for free. I did what I was supposed to do to get that. So at the end of
Right.
the day, um, this ride or die, I don't feel like I no longer have it. Like you could have done all that, but doesn't mean that you're still not a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Cancer weeded out a lot of fake ass people in my life, and it still does. So, I want to have a conversation about dating during and after cancer, during this season, because I actually tell people that I have, even if I meet somebody through online dating, I tell people that I had cancer and I'm a survivor, and sometimes I shit my pants during the first conversation because that's a way of weeding out the person who's going to be there for me or not. Like, I'm not going to waste my time in investing into somebody going on 1 or 2 days. I don't have time for that. To then say, oh, I had cancer. And they're like, well, I can't deal with that. Bye. You know? So my ride or dies that I expected to be there when I had cancer, like my best friend that I knew since sixth grade, since I was 11, I was diagnosed at 29, she fucking disappeared. She disappeared. She ghosted me. And cancer ghosting is real. And she was one that I thought was going to be my ride or die and it would have been there with me. And the one friend who I honestly was like, this girl has the biggest out. I don't expect her to be there for me because she spent months in a hospital in ICU after a fatal car accident and she almost died. And she hates hospitals just like I do. And I can totally understand. And I was like, I'm in ICU. I understand my friend not coming. I have a surgery. I understand my friend not coming. Let me tell you, that friend, Karina, you know I love you. I have to give you a special shout out, you and Barbara and Karen. But Karina, what came to ICU to see me, and I can barely remember anything from those days in ICU, as you can imagine. And when I had my reversal surgery, that girl was in that waiting room for my surgery before I even got there for my own surgery. And my own sister wasn't even there. And so I just have to give credit where credit is due, that she has been there for me. So she has shown that she really is my ride or die, even if we don't talk every day. And Barbie too. Like those are my three girls, you know.
I
And I
love
have
that.
cousins who have been there. And
I feel like, sorry, yeah,
yeah.
cancer is big and everything, and I can't even imagine it. But I also feel like that also goes anytime you start a business or something. The
Mhm.
people you expect to be there, to be the one giving out
Mhm.
flyers and telling people about your shit, quiet.
Right.
But they're here
Right.
reposting Beyonce and Cowboy Carter. Like Beyonce don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about you, baby. But
Right.
and then until when they start their business and then they're expecting you to do that, I'm like, these days I am a selfish ass motherfucker. I'm like, no,
Right.
you didn't do that for me. I ain't doing that shit. And because people also see me as such a supporter, like, oh, Paula supports, Paula shows up. But this is I'm being very like I'm very choosy. And very soon, people won't be able to get in touch with me. Y'all will be being sent to an assistant. By the
Hey,
time
even
you
if it's
get to me,
AI.
by the time you get to me, baby, you're already tired, right? Cause, but I think that also made me, because I used to be such of that person. I would show up and pull up for people and support and all that. And when I stopped getting that, I also learned how to stop expecting. You know,
Mhm.
when you have these expectations on people and then it
Mhm.
doesn't happen, it also triggers your mental health, the anxiety,
Right.
the depression. You start worrying, on people like me or whatever, like, things in your head, because now you're building all these scenarios in your head, because you just assume, well, I would show up for them, I would go all, an extra mile for them, so why aren't they doing that for me? And these days
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Like, show up, don't, like, I really don't care. Cooper is asking, is this normally a Thursday evening room? No, we just woke up today and decided to do this shit.
Actually, it's usually on a Friday, but Paula and I really wanted to make it happen. And so this was the day that worked for both of us. So we made it special and we're having it Thursday evening.
Yeah,
But normally I try to have it on a Friday.
I normally have a Friday room, but that room does not um it's not LinkedIn status, so I never stream it on LinkedIn, only on YouTube. So Paula's mom sounds like, wait, Cooper says Paula's mom sounds like a lot of moms who think their time to overparent doesn't end when the child isn't a teacher anymore. Policing the child's eating habits, amount of exercise, finance management, etc. My mom does not reach out to any of my exes that my mom doesn't. My dad, and maybe it's also my fault, because I am friends with all my exes, and then they say I make a better friend than I made as a girlfriend. I don't know why, but then they still try to sleep with me, so I don't know what that means. Clearly my sex game is good, but my girlfriend game is not good, but my friendship game is good. I don't know. But they're all my friends until they get married. I separate because I wanna put some respect on their lives and their wives. But so my mom barely knows who I'm dating or who my exes are. Like, I think she only knows one. But every guy I have dated or talked to, my dad knows, because literally my dad is my best friend, and maybe I overshare with my dad. So he becomes friends with them. And then when I break up, because all my exes have one thing in common with my dad: entrepreneurs. They do business, so they always find something to do with my dad. So my dad comes to me and say, do I also have to break up with them because we're making money? I'm like, no, you're fine, do you. But then this ex, who the podcast started because of him, and it has been an on and off going kind of thing. And he's my dad just loves the hell out of him, and I feel like that is because they're literally alike. I literally said I think I see my dad in him, and maybe that's why he kind of disrupts my head. So anytime my dad can't get hold of me or anything, he reaches out to them. Not my mom, but my mom is a special case, and she got remarried in May, and I feel like I've been replaced because she loves her bonus daughter way more than me. Because in the beginning, I thought, okay, maybe because I'm a girl, you love your son more, moms and boys, dads and daughters. But then she got a bonus daughter, and they talk. She even helped with the dress. On the wedding, it was my brother and the daughter up there, like the perfect family. So I was like, okay, I guess I got replaced. So clearly, it's me. So, but cheers, ma. And I even told her we're gonna talk about it, but I'm just not there yet today. But I know she's just gonna bullshit it, so that's why I'm probably not
Yeah.
in the mood to deal with that.
It's funny because with my mom, she's very, very overprotective of me, but when it comes to my sister can just do whatever, and it's always been that way
Who's
even when we
who,
were
who-
little.
who's older?
Oh, we're 6 years apart, and I'm the eldest one. I'm my mom's first child.
Ah.
Um, so yeah, so it's kind of
Well,
weird, but
normally last borns are allowed to be crazy. I feel like most families, like I'm a last
yeah,
born, so
yeah, so my sister gets away with a lot, but I do have to say, I wish my dad would manage my finances for me. I'd be rich by now. So
have
maybe I
you
need to have a
asked
talk
him?
with him. I'm
Have you
gonna
asked
ask him. I'm
him?
gonna be like, Dad, I need you to have access to my bank account and I need you to manage my finances, please. Like, can you be my bookkeeper? He's
I
very
don't think
business
I want
minded.
my dad to know my finances, because one thing about me, I don't care that I'm 36, I'll still ask my dad for money.
Well, I can't do that. I'm kind of on my own. The other thing is that, I have to add to is that um my dad under parents, my mom over parents, but they when I was growing up, it was a very good balance between the two. My dad was that person that was always there, even if it wasn't emotional stuff that he could help with, he handled everything else. And then my mom, I could talk to about certain things, but there were certain things that I definitely didn't feel safe talking to her about at that time.
So, so it's funny how we
Yeah.
almost similar but not similar. My mom over parent, she was like the strict mom. Like everybody knew
Yeah.
my mom was strict, and if my dad was away at home, it was the home was, and then my dad was fun and also a strict parent, but not strict. Like as long as certain, my dad was like, as long as this shit is done, you can have this. Like kind of like a reward system. But my mom is just
Right.
follow the rules. Don't question me. Don't argue. Don't talk back. Don't. But with my dad, and I think because my dad is a lawyer, so you can argue, you can debate, you can question, as long as it's respectfully. My dad cussed, drank. Like I learned all that the drinking, the cussing, all that came from my
Right.
dad. The attitude came from my mom. But also like talking, my dad emotionally everything. Like my dad bought me tampons and pads. Like literally, my dad did everything. When I was going through a breakup, I cried to him. He takes me for ice cream. Dates, I talk to him. Boys, I talk to him. My mom, I didn't talk to her about anything, to be honest. Like right now, as we are grown and we're trying to figure out this relationship between us, I can share a few, but depending on the day and how
Yeah.
she is and how the conversation is going. But even when I say fuck, my mom will be like, excuse me? And be like, oh shit, sorry. But my dad, it comes out so natural, even though these days he also be like, polar language. I'm like, huh, where do you think I got this from? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's like we're almost similar about our parents, but also a little bit off. But again, African
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, and I mean Jamaican is the same kind of culture as you know. Um, being Chinese Jamaican, it's a little bit more intricate because there's a
Wait,
lot
you're
more.
Chinese?
Yeah, I'm part Chinese. My dad's side is part Chinese.
I never knew that. How did
Yeah,
I
that's why I
never
have the
know that?
last name. That's why my last name is Lee Sin. That's my dad's last name coming from my grandfather.
I should have.
You see the chinky eyes?
I just thought you're just high and shit, but yeah.
No, I don't smoke.
You
Maybe
know
I
what?
should. Probably the only Jamaican that doesn't smoke. I don't know. But I do have to say though, I want to give a special shout out to my godmother because she's that one person that's like a mom to me, and I can call her crying, talking about real shit. I can curse. It she's really been there through a lot. And the funny thing is, talking about exes, I'm not friends with any of my exes, unfortunately and fortunately, because all of them have been total a-holes.
I have
But
good exes. I'm sorry.
except for the first one. It was like I did great with the first one,
Even
and then
my
after that it was just trash. It was like
my
trash.
other exes literally talk shit with his sponsor. Like, if I can't afford to do certain stuff, he helps me out. So and
Mm,
the other ex buys me shoes because he knows I like shoes, and he just sends them out. I love my
see,
exes. I'm
see,
grateful for
and
them.
except for my first relationship, he used to like treat me to stuff, and I don't even know how he did that because we were in high school and he wasn't even working yet. But he would treat me to stuff and all of that. But he was more of a man than the people that I dated when I was older. But most of my exes have I've been the one who's been used. I've been the one who's provided or helped out or whatever. And I just want to say, like, I asked my dad to reach out to my last ex when we were breaking up, and I really loved this guy. I miss being his friend. We were definitely better friends than we were in a relationship. There were just a lot of things that I think he needs to heal from that he didn't realize that he needs to heal from. So there was a lot of insecurities and he didn't trust me. And it wasn't because he couldn't trust me, it was just that he didn't. I mean, I didn't want anybody else. He was the love of my life. I really wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. And we had a lot in common. He was my best friend for like 18 months before we started dating. I do miss our friendship a lot. Um, I asked my dad to kind of reach out to him and kind of be a mediator and whatever. My dad was like, Shannon, I'm not going to get, involved in your relationship. But then my mom, without me asking her, didn't even know why we broke up. And he texted my mom. I actually encouraged him. Sorry, Hassani. I encouraged him to text my mom for her birthday. And he did, and she lit into him and totally disrespected him and was really cruel and just wrong and nasty and vile. And I really want to apologize to him for that, but he will not speak to me. So I hope that he's secretly watching this episode and that he secretly follows me. So he is getting my apology that I've been wanting to say I'm sorry. Um, to Antoinette Williams, thanks for always supporting me. I love you. She's like a mom and sis to me. She is a rock star, kick ass, colon cancer survivor of over 20 years. Um, Paula, you remind me a lot of her. Like, you'd have a lot of fun talking to Antoinette. Really. You're both very, she's a calmer version of you, but the same energy, if that makes sense. So she's like a riptide. So she's calm on the surface, but she's a powerhouse underneath.
So you
I
mean
love
I'm
her
not
so much.
calm? Like, I feel like I'm being very calm and zen.
Calm you, calm
Zen.
you, and Zen you is still energetic. So it's like, you just have a calmer version, but you're still energetic. So no, I'm sorry, there is no like calm Zen unless you're sleeping. But but that's why I love you. But I just want to go back to the whole mental health thing. There's this song that Chadwick Boseman's wife Simone sings, and it's talking about check on your strong friends. And I think we forget to do that. I think we forget that the friends that we have that are strong, when they go quiet, that's when we need to check on them the most. I tend to go quiet in my depression. I tend to go quiet when I'm struggling through things. I tend to withdraw. And those who know me, they see that happening, they're like, "Psh, let me reach out." They know me enough to know that. So I just want to remind everyone, check on your strong friends. Even your strong friends go through issues, and even your strong friends need support. And sometimes it just takes a text or a phone call to remind somebody that they're not alone, and someone who is thinking of giving up and thinking of crossing that line that is a permanent solution to temporary problems. Problems are always temporary, they're always solvable, they're always fixable, they're always overcomeable. Everything is figure outable. But some of us, we get so lost in that this is taking so long to pass, the storm is taking so long, I don't think the sun's ever going to come out, that they give up on riding out the storm and waiting for the sunshine or bringing their own sunshine in. That they get tired of treading water. I've been there, and sometimes though all we need is that handout or that life buoy to cling to. And sometimes all that takes to do that, to save somebody from going over the edge, is that hand, to hold on to and grab onto. And so I want to remind everyone that if somebody is in a dark place and you don't know how to help, sometimes just a text that says, I love you, or I'm here for you, or do you want to talk about it, is more than enough. Sometimes it is more than you even know what you're doing. And so I want to remind everyone of that. I also, before we keep going with the conversation, I want to remind everyone about the 988 hotline. You can also text them. You can chat with them on the website. It'll lead you to a text. There's always somebody there to talk. We, Blue Couch Chat and Talk Shit with P, Shannon and Paula, we're always here for you too. And we mean that
I know.
genuinely.
I'm tired of being people's emotional
Well,
GPS. I'm sorry. No, but
well, I am here. I am
but
here.
I'm joking.
Um,
But
I
but
am here.
to add on to that, like check on your strong friends. I feel it's so true, and maybe that's why I low key even stop bothering, because I feel like people rely so much on me and I check on people so much, but then when I need people, nobody's ever there, literally. And
Mhm,
I had to refocus and also relearn. I think there's power in being your own best friend, and there's
mhm,
power in learning to be okay in silent and in your own space. and
mhm,
and this it most people will tell you like, yeah, Paula will notice I haven't posted on Instagram for 2 days and she'll text me or whatever. But then when it comes to
mhm,
me, I would even be posting crying on my stories. I
mhm.
don't care when people say, oh, people they're seeking attention on social media. Yes, maybe because sometimes that's how people are telling you they need you, right?
Right,
Without telling you
right.
they need you. So it's not
Mhm.
seeking attention, it's them crying out for help. And people will
Exactly.
still look at the story, and these are the same people who have your number. Not only just them being your friends on Instagram, they have your number, but they will ignore that and then 2 days later text you about something else, like they just didn't see that post. And when I go through my hard time, I remember that. And I've learned to be like, fuck them people. Like, and this is why my my people my circle keeps getting smaller and smaller, because I'm no longer giving out myself to people who don't give a fuck about me. Sorry, not
I
sorry.
agree.
And
I
that's
agree.
also one way of also protecting your peace and your mental health. And also, I surround myself with genuine people. Like, I have the High Hope Breakfast Club. This is with Dominic, Walter, and Chris. And these boys, if I just say I need 2 minutes, they'll jump on a call with me. Or if they see a post or something that feels fishy, they'll check in like, "Are you okay?" I
Mhm,
have right now we have seen the Mad Professor he just posted. He's part of the guys group that we normally go live on Friday that I was talking about, two cigars and a blunt. Him and five other guys, and Brian is the one who got me in this group. I met him at Podfest last year, and I've been part of their group, and we joke and talk shit with each other, but I they check on me, they cater to me. Maybe I'm the only girl in their group, that's why, but they love on me even though they give me a hard time. And then I have the, oh my God, like I've literally created these spaces for
Right.
myself. And it's sad to say, it's really sad to say that the friends who I gave so much of myself, who I thought would as well, are the ones who never are. And then the strangers who became family hold me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I say this
Mm-hmm.
loyalty thing, people are always like, oh, you gotta be loyal, but who are you being loyal to? What are you being
Mm-hmm.
loyal to? You have to sit down and realize, is that friendship a baggage
Right.
or not? Because sometimes we are holding these people in spaces where they shouldn't even be. Clean out them, and bringing these people will hold you down and make it safe. But it's true. Check on your close friends, and people forget that, right? Because I don't know why they assume we should always be happy and stuff. I remember when I came out and said I was depressed, people were asking me, how can you be depressed? You're always happy. You're always, and I'm like, have you ever thought maybe that's a coping mechanism?
I um I actually have something that I want to add, a couple things. One, I am glad that you are realizing your worth and who's not worth your energy, because if you give your energy to the people who take but don't fill back, eventually you'll end up empty. And that is something that I'm starting to learn too. So I want to give a shout out to Jennifer because she also agrees with that. And I love that whole free samples idea.
Paula
That
is no
that's
longer
true,
giving out free samples. She's worthy and
Yeah.
is not. Hey man, baby,
Yeah.
and I really am, and part of that, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it's, you know, your worth and you know what you have, but sometimes it also takes somebody else pointing what you already know, kind of like an assurance, like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm not just. And the high up boys, those boys, they've made me be aware of what I am capable of. And those are the places I want to be in. I want to be in rooms and surrounded with people who are not scared of what you're capable of, but embracing you and building you up. But they also told me,
Hmm.
they're like, now don't let that ego become a Kanye ego. I'm like, no, Kanye ego is a case study, baby.
Yeah, that's past ego.
Yeah, at one point back in the days, I used to want a Kanye ego, but I've also realized the Kanye ego can make you and break you at the same time if you're not careful. So maybe just a 10% of Kanye ego is okay with me. But
Yeah.
I want to belong in places where they are not threatened by you, but they see you, they encourage you and build you. And High Hope Boys, Dominic, Chris, and Walter, those boys. One day I will do a whole full on episode of the things they've been able to show in me to where this was, this acknowledgement is coming today. And somebody also today, in the place where I was getting irritated, somebody actually said, shout out to Amanda. Amanda said, y'all are not hearing Paula. Paula says she knows her worth and she's saying no because that is not for her.
Hmm.
Just because it seems like it's an opportunity that people would want, but it's not an opportunity I would want. And I'm okay with that. Like, I do not have to be everywhere and anywhere just to
Hmm.
be. No, I am choosing where I want to be, who I want to associate
Right.
with, and what I want to bring. And
Yeah.
oh my God, it's such a breather to be in that space. Like, I'm still not healed, and people assume that with my depression, like after you get all the streaks or learn all the shit, like it goes away. Depression doesn't end. I still have
Hmm.
my depression days. I still have days where but they are lesser these days because of how much work I'm putting into my side. and I'm doing the
Mhm.
work. And that's why I tell people, don't go to therapy if you're not ready to do the work, because there's no
Mhm.
point. You're not going to be healed. You have to do the work. You have to dig in and look into yourself. You can't always blame people. I blame myself. There's certain things I brought them
Right.
onto myself.
Right.
And I needed to acknowledge that, I needed to see that. And from that, I was able to move on and be in this place where, fuck it, I'm not going to let other people create my depression or anxiety. I'm not giving
I
them
think
permission.
I think we also need to, so I studied architecture, and there's something that, you remind me of, and that is that a smaller circle is actually stronger than a bigger one.
Quality over quantity.
Yes.
Quality over
But
quantity.
literally too, if you take a circle like this, it's hard to break, but if you have a circle like this, it breaks very easily.
Exactly.
So
And
sometimes having a smaller circle is better and stronger. And then I also, like, real quick, just want to also say that depression is like drowning, right? It's like drowning in your own emotions. And we think that drowning is going to look like, hey, I can't swim. I'm drowning. But drowning is actually a very silent thing. And that's why they train lifeguards, because most people who are drowning actually don't scream out because they can't. And they just sink and they don't resurface. And so that's how depression kind of is too. It's a very silent thing. And I lost a cousin to suicide. And it was one of the hardest things that I went through. And she was always the happy one in the room. She was always happy, never sad, always joking. And so it was a surprise. And that's why I say check on your strong friends, check on your happy friends. Look at Robin Williams. He was always happy. Twitch, he was always happy. You know, the people who are always happy, they have moments
Avicii.
alone, you know?
Avicii.
Yeah, they have moments where they're alone and they're down, and sometimes they just need that hand to reach out and that life buoy. And so I also want to say too that sometimes we have to give people grace when they can't be there for us, because sometimes they're drowning themselves. And so it's this, how you said, like, you don't have the energy to give some people anymore. Sometimes it's self-protection, because if you try to save somebody from drowning but you're drowning yourself, what's going to happen? You're both going to drown, right? If you're both
Somebody
struggling.
somebody once told me, you know the statement that you gotta water your cup to pour into somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, my cup doesn't need to, I don't pour when my cup is full. My cup has to be overflowing for me to
Mm-hmm.
pour, because once it's overflowing, the more I pour, the more also gets back into my
Mm-hmm.
cup. And
Right.
that's so true. And also, I especially this last year and this year, I had to also understand that there's a lot going on in everybody's life, right? And that's why we say, you don't know what people are struggling with, be kind. So I also choose to, like, I tend not to bother my friends, because I know also they're dealing with stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not waiting for them to discover, because again, we are all in our own world because of all the shit we are dealing with. So it's
Mm-hmm.
okay if a friend misses shit, so reach out to them. And then if they don't respond or whatever, give them grace until you know why before you start bitching, because again, we are all dealing with shit. And that's why you
Yeah.
also need a therapist. Don't rely so much on your friends, or have
Right.
that code, like, I think it was, I forgot his name, but he was the one who was like, with he said, a friend of mine was going through some stuff, and we all wondering why they didn't reach out. And they said, oh, we thought you were busy. So they came up with a code, 7 minutes. They're like, I will
Mm-hmm.
always have 7 minutes for you. So even in the boys group chat with High Hope, we sent each other that clip, and we're like, yo, sometimes maybe we're also dealing, we can't respond, whatever. So if it's
Mm-hmm.
really important, right, do you have 7 minutes? Or can I have 7 minutes? That way we know it's urgent right now,
Mm-hmm.
and we will make time because we will always have 7 minutes. So with your closest friends, get a code where if it's at that point you really need somebody, you use that word. That way they know, like, oh shit, this is a right now issue. Let me find 5 minutes so I can hop into. Because sometimes I really am drowning enough that I don't want to talk to nobody. So if you're just
Right.
texting me, hey, I'm gonna ignore it because I'm just assuming it's hey. I'm like, right now I ain't got time to hey. So I'm gonna respond when I can, when I'm feeling good to respond. Sometimes I'm just high and in my peaceful world where I do not like being disturbed. And these days I like being out of the loop. Don't loop me in on any shit. I like my little bubble. I am very okay with being in my own bubble. But
Right.
if you really need me, use that code and I'll be there for you.
Yeah. I think the comments they went back for some
Cooper
reason.
said true. Sometimes what somebody needs most is a shoulder and a listening ear. And very true. I've also learned
Mm-hmm.
to, whenever friends reach out to me, because I think sometimes we also don't reach out to people because they're those people. Me, I'm guilty of that as well. When people reach out and start telling you, you start also sharing, oh, that has happened to me. Remember, that time I also went through this. Or they start finding ways to fix it. Sometimes people don't need fixing or anything. Sometimes people just want to vent. So normally when my friends ask me, do you have time to talk, or I want to talk about this, I ask them, are you looking for advice or do you want to vent?
Mm-hmm.
That way, because I'm a person who just goes straight into action mode, like helping figure out how to solve something. So, but if you tell me you want to vent, I will just listen and I'll even bitch. I'll be like, yeah, fuck that shit. Even though I know you're in the wrong, I will hype you up just to get it. And
Right.
then later, once you come, I'll be like, my baby, you know you were wrong, right? Let's get into that. But I know at that
Yeah.
time when you want to vent, you don't want to hear that or any of that. You just want to get shit off your chest, and that's okay. So
Right.
I feel like we should be asking people that. But I've also learned to tell, whenever I send a message or a voice note, if it's something very heavy, I give people a heads up, like, hey, this voice note is heavy. Listen to it when you have the energy for it. No rush on it. Cause I don't like when I'm in a happy mood and then I'm listening to a voice note and it's sad and shit. Now you're depressing me when I was in
Yeah.
my hyper mood. So I don't need that, and I don't want to put that on somebody else. So even as friends, I think with, again, this comes to creating boundaries. I think we abuse our people, and that's why they become emotionally drained, and we are not emotionally drained on our own emotions, but carrying other people's emotions.
Mm-hmm. It's weighing us down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I also want to say there's this app that I found recently, and it's AI, but it's specifically for mental health, and it's free. It's called Ash, ASH, not ass. I know I took a lot of ass, but Ash,
Nobody was
ASH.
thinking us, but okay. Clearly you
You
were,
know,
but
shit,
okay.
knee, shit, ass, it's all colon cancer. I'm sorry. So, sometimes I do talk about ass and getting your ass checked. But
Oh my God.
yeah, so everybody, if you're 45 or over, get a colonoscopy. Let's plug that in there. But ADHD is kicking. But I do want to say that I found this free app called Ash, and although it's AI, it is actually really intuitive and it has been really helpful for those times when I just need a vent or just get my feelings out, or I just need some advice, or it doesn't really give advice, but it'll ask you, like let's say I have an issue with my boyfriend and I'm like, this is really bothering me. And it's, if you were to sit down with them, what would you say? And I'm like, I don't even know. And they're like, well, do you want to put your feelings out and we can try to put something together? And it'll have that kind of conversation. And it's actually really, really good. Like, I'm starting to get into this whole AI thing, but it's
I'm not
way
gonna
better
lie.
than
I'm not gonna lie, ChatGPT is my best friend. Sometimes I even talk to it like, is this such an harsh message? Because I'm so sarcastic, and people have told me sometimes my messages come across that, even though in my head, because I write my messages as I'm talking. So to me, when I'm
Right.
talking, because you see me and you see the smile or you feel the energy, so it doesn't come off as actually like, oh, that's just Paula. But then when you're reading it, you're like, damn, fuck this bitch then.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I talked to ChatGPT and I'm like, is this too harsh? They're like, well, in your sarcasticness, it is very okay, but you're still a bitch and you're being petty. And I'm like, damn, okay, tell me how it is. But I hear that. And another shameless plug for anybody dealing with mental health or really wants to learn in an educational way of all these topics, because today we talked about sexual assault, ADHD, anxiety, all that. And when it comes to sexual
Domestic
assault, oh,
violence.
yeah, domestic violence. And also for men, I feel like men don't talk as much as they should about their sexual assault, because also the shame and guilt about it, and
Mhm.
there's this stigma that, oh, men can't be sexually assaulted, but baby they can, and men get
They
raped, and
can.
men get abused, and men get all that. So I'm gonna put a shameless plug to recently new podcast. It came out in May, Mental Health Awareness Month. It's called Mental Health Rewritten. And I'm going to give you a heads up. It's a heavy podcast, but the storytelling, the teaching, everything is very educational, very worth it. So go check that out if you need to. And
I
Cooper
will.
says, even people who always seem so positive have to admit that everything will be okay. Oh my God, I am tired of motherfuckers telling me everything will be okay. There's this one video.
Toxic positivity. Toxic positivity. Oh, you'll get through this. Oh, you're strong. Oh, you'll be all right.
Like, fuck it, I'm tired of being strong.
I'm
I
I'm
even this year,
tired.
on New Year's Eve, I prayed to God and I was like, God, I feel like 2024, I was strong as I could be. I don't have it in me to be any stronger. I am sorry, please. I'm tired of being strong. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of being independent woman. I'm tired of this fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. It's
So
okay not
let's
to be
just
okay.
say, if there are any men out there that like me or Paula and want to take care of us, please hit
Oh
us
no.
up.
I'm not looking. I'm tired of y'all men. Y'all just full of shit. I'm sorry. Unless you're very old and rich and ready to die and leave me everything, don't come for me.
You want to do an Anna Nicole?
At this point, I feel like I've already been giving out my goodies for free, so might as well give it out for some trust fund.
I mean, I'm tired. I'm tired of taking care of people. I want someone to take care of me for once, you know? How about that? How about that?
Wait,
But
Antonia said perhaps people hold their own solutions and only need to experience the feedback of their own voices they know. So true, because sometimes I feel like
mhm,
once you speak it, you realize, like, it takes you talking to somebody, even if that person is not answering you, for you to notice your own bullshit or what you need to do. Like, I don't need to give you advice. You just need to a soundboard. It's okay to be a
yeah.
soundboard for your friends.
And mind you, I'm not getting paid by Ash. It's really something that I just tried out for myself as this app with AI. But
Maybe you
that's
should.
basically what it does.
You
I
should cut
should reach
that.
out to them, right?
Yeah, you should cut that clip and send it to them. I mean, this is how people get brand deals and shit. You're already promoting it.
But I really believe in what it does. Like I was kind of skeptical. I this ad came across on Facebook and I was kind of skeptical, but I was like, let me try it. And I was having a really rough day and I didn't have any therapy appointments scheduled for at least a
But I'm
week.
telling you, they could be your
And
sponsor. Literally, if it's
it
already something you
really
believe and
helped.
you use, just do reviews and send it to them. Send that
Yeah.
clip and be like, "Can we talk? I have a live whatever, and I'm gonna be promoting it with or without you. I'm already doing it, but I feel like we can come in some agreement. Is it
Yeah.
a free app?
Because it is a free app and you can talk to it or text to it and it'll talk back to you or text back to you. And then the cool thing is that it also you can see look back on your conversations. So you can it's almost also like a journal as at the same time because you can go back. and you can have multiple conversations about different topics. It was really helpful to me during a day when I had really bad anxiety, to the point that I was literally like frozen in bed, couldn't move, anxiety for like 2 days. And I just found this app and I started talking to it, and it really helped me flesh out my emotions and what I was feeling and what I needed to talk to this person about and how to have that conversation. And the conversation actually went a lot easier than I thought it would have, because I had this little talk with this app. And so it's
And
better
this
than
is
ChatGPT because it's specifically for mental health.
and this is why I love these conversations, or even in my podcast, having the safe space, because you find different tools, not necessarily because not everybody can afford therapy, or not everybody is ready for therapy, because you gotta be ready for therapy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're going to therapy and not doing the work, it's useless. Not everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants medication. I do not want medication or anything. And in life, the norm is either therapy or medication. But now, when you have people coming on this platform and talking about
Mm-hmm.
things, you realize different ways of how you can still heal with other tools without having to go to therapy. Or maybe this tool could be the way for you to go to therapy, or something, because after talking to that person, you're like, okay, maybe now I'm ready for therapy because of how that
I
conversation was going. And before you say anything, the mad professor said, I absolutely believe this, Paul. I'm wondering, what exactly do you believe? Because we talk too much shit and we're just babbling on. So, as much as I want to support this comment, I'm not sure what I am
Yeah,
supporting.
which
So,
part?
yes, so which part? Can you elaborate if you're still there? I would love to hear. But he never believes anything I say. So this is something
This is
new
a
too.
one-off.
Tomorrow at the Friday at the two cigars and a blunt episode. By the way, we go Friday night live, 8 to 9, then 9 to 10 we do ash out, where whatever you gotta get
What's
out of your
the
chest.
link?
It's on YouTube. Two cigars and a blunt. We go live on YouTube and Facebook. But now I'm no longer on Facebook, so I never stream on Facebook anymore. But he he said, I believe that some folks offer platitudes for themselves. Yes.
How do you,
Okay.
it's two TWO
No, two
cigars
is
and a
number two. Number two.
two two cigars and a blunt?
Yes, so it started with three guys. Two were smoking cigars, one was smoking a blunt. But now we have five. They just never updated it. And two smokes blunt and three smoke cigars. But lately they're ever smoking, but we just talk, and always conversations and different things, a mixture of politics, everyday life, some
Tell me if
fun,
I
some
spelt
jokes.
this right. I added it
Mm?
as a ticker. Tell me if I did that right. Is that it? Two
Yeah,
cigars and a blunt?
but not all in one word. Like
Oh,
there's
it's
space,
separated.
two cigars and a blunt. Yes.
Let's try that again. See, this is why we're live. Sorry guys, it's not perfect, but we're live, so this is very real. So here we go. Let's try this again.
Two space cigars space. Yes, there you go. Find
Okay.
us every Friday night, 8 p.m. to 9, then 9 to 10 is a shout. We also sometimes, if you're there and you wanna jump on, we invite you on. We
And
we we,
that's
we
that's
just have
Eastern
fun.
time.
Yes. And I'm the
See, this
only
is why I
girl.
miss
So I would
Tim.
love to
Tim's good
have
at
other
this.
girls in there because I'm the
I'll
only
join.
girl. There's Brian, there's the mad professor, there's man on the street, there's oh my god, they're gonna kill me. Pharaoh and Team Dog from Bimo, Team Dog from Bimo, and then Pharrell. So yeah, it's always a good time. I love those boys. They make my days.
It's good to have a good circle of friends that sometimes you
Oh
can just
yeah,
shoot the shit with.
I used to when I became friends with Brian, I used to watch them and comment so much. So they were like, since you're talking so much in the comment, come talk it online. So I ended up being a guest and co-host, and I never left.
I I
Nah,
have
no
to. I forgot what I
violence.
was.
We know you, my love. I know he truly does love me, even though he's the reason. For anybody asking why I'm no longer on Facebook, the mad professor is the reason I'm no longer on Facebook. I'm just saying. But we love each other over there. We talk about talking shit and pulling shit on each other, but we love each other. Like it's all love. And that's the
Yeah,
thing. I feel like when you're doing this, right, it should be fun. And I'm gonna quote Justin Shank. By the way, he has a conference next year, April, a summit. But Justin Shank said, I'm gonna keep doing this until it's no longer fun. And that's why even today when Shannon told me, oh, she has been stressing and whatever, I was like, why are you stressing? This is supposed to be fun. Like, it's okay if you don't have things perfect or anything. It's
I'm
fun.
OCD.
Just,
I'm
yeah.
OCD.
So, and I feel like podcasting, and that's how why Talk Shit with P is how Talk Shit with P is. The brand in itself. Yes, we talk about serious things, but we have fun. I love being around people who can have fun, can talk shit, and when it counts, be serious, and when it matters, not take anything personal. And I feel like these days, the internet, we take things too personal. Everything has become either racist, either this. Like you can't make a joke without it being, oh, it's racist, oh, it's law, oh, it's, I'm like, damn. When did we become these tight ass people? Can we go back to the days where shit was just fun and joking?
Mhm.
Everything doesn't need to be racist, everything doesn't need to be serious. But
Yeah.
when it counts, it should.
So I do have to say, one thing that's kind of troubling is that even when you do want to reach out for mental health, sometimes it's hard to get an appointment because there are not enough people who are mental health professionals to support the people who actually need the help. So, like, even with my therapist, it's hard to get an appointment every week. And then insurance can be an issue where some
Why is it,
insurances,
sorry, why is it
uh,
hard to get an appointment every week? I
because
aren't you supposed to already have like an weekly existing appointment?
yeah, but then sometimes we go on, like, let's say I have 4 scheduled at a time, then we get to like the third one and then she's like almost booked out and she only has like maybe one appointment available or whatever. So there, just like there's not enough GIs to do enough colonoscopies for the amount of people who need colonoscopies, especially now that the screening age has been lowered. Another shameless plug for colonoscopies and GIs, but and prevention of colon cancer. But there's not enough mental health professionals available for all of us who need help. And so, and then not only that, but for people who don't have insurance or on
It's
Medicaid or Medicare, it's
yeah.
not really covered. So, like, I need intensive therapy where I should be going every day for 6 to 8 weeks to help with my complex PTSD, and my insurance doesn't cover that, or my lack of insurance. So, um it's very real that there's that issue. And then I also believe that sometimes therapists who look like us get us more because of our culture and the stigma, and there aren't enough doctors or mental health professionals that look like us to help us. So I do see a lot more people like us, you and me, Paula, who give the peer support and try to be mental health advocates because we're doing our work and we're helping in our own way, although we're not professionals. And sometimes you don't need to be a licensed professional to be able to give your friends support. Sometimes you just need to be able to be a listening ear and for them to just know that somebody loves them, you
But also
know?
a reminder, it's both ways. Like if you're the one constantly giving support and you're not getting it back, please cut ties. I'm sorry. Like I
Yeah.
don't care how long I've known you or how much you've done to me. I am this person these days who I'm living in my I don't give a fuck era where I am cutting motherfuckers off because one thing I've realized, peace is a beautiful thing, y'all.
Yeah, it
Being
is.
peaceful, like going a holiday with my phone not buzzing, back in the day, I used to be like, oh my God, nobody has called or whatever. I must be the worst person ever. It was like a validation to have people constantly calling you for their problems and shit. But these days it's like, baby, I'm grateful. And somebody Cooper said, someone who frequently goes, hey, are you in the loop on this? Sounds like a drama king, not being educational. So true. And I've realized that when I'm not gonna lie, I used to love drama. I used to want to be in the loop. I used to want to know everything and be a part of
Mm-hmm.
everything without being a part, if you know what I mean. Like knowing, but not
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the mess. But these days, baby, I don't even want to know. I don't care. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. Like, save it. I don't want to know. I don't. And
And
I'm
then
okay with it. And I'm
Cooper
perfectly fine with it.
Cooper was also saying, whoa, if you ask an AI model about something between you and your significant other, I wonder how, for the privacy violations, this can go. You know, these models, AI, are trained on massive databases accessible over the internet, but accessible to whom? And Cooper, I did wonder about that as well. But when you talk to Ash, it's actually like technically you're basically anonymous, like you're not using like your own personal information or your email or anything like that. So even if it is using the information, it's
So
like
how do
you're
you
just using
sign
first
up?
name.
If you're not using your email, how do you sign up?
I mean, you do sign into through Apple, but like when you
Yeah,
sign
but
into the
Apple has your
actual app,
email. Yeah.
well, you sign in at, yeah, but what I do is when I put my email, keep my email private, so the app doesn't actually get my real email. Do
Mm.
you do that on your iPhone?
I, I, nope. But I feel like they still not, because here's the funny thing. Even though I talk to ChatGPT a lot, right? And yes,
Mhm.
I've it literally knows me. Sometimes it even says things, and I'm like, damn, you're so much like me. But I
Yeah,
trained it, right? I've been
right,
talking and working with it for a year. So
right.
recently I will and I shared this last week on Friday night on our Friday night live. I was working on my engagement ring, right? I had a conversation, and I was like, okay, let me see if if ChatGPT can actually design my ring. And I went and I asked ChatGPT, knowing me from everything we have talked about, can you design
Mhm.
my engagement ring? And literally it said, your love is not normal. And literally, I didn't even tell them who the engagement ring was with. Man, the engagement ring that was being designed with the person, our love is not normal. Far from normal. It's very exhausting, emotionally draining, all the fucked up shit, like very toxic in most ways, but also very us in most ways. I don't know. I can't explain it myself personally. But it designed the perfect ring. Even when I showed it to him and I only showed it to two of my friends. They're like, yo, what the fuck? This ring is actually you. And even I showed them what ChatGPT had said. It was like, how the fuck do you even know that? And then it gave me an estimate. It gave me a dealer. The ring is being made right now. But it's amazing how so whether you believe it or not, it's storing information and it knows. It knows.
It is. It is. But this app, because of the fact that it's mental health, you do have the option to opt out of things being used outside of what you use it
But
for.
if
And you're not
but
putting in
if
anything other than your name.
yeah, but if you're talking to it, it's still collecting data. So everything you're sharing
Yeah.
is still data. And I mean AI is technology, so you might not say your
Yeah.
name or whatever, but if they put that on Google search or whatever, they can easily get your name and email. Like, you know?
Yeah, especially because I have a unique name. Thank you, Grandpa.
And also because we also have podcast or broadcast or whatever this is, where
Mhm.
some of the information that we also share there are out there, like even
Mhm.
on dating apps. Once people, because I don't know if I've said this, but at one point for 2 years I haven't even gone on dates. Like I literally use my dating apps for promoting my podcast, and I talked about this year at Podfest when I was doing my first comedy, because I did
Yeah.
I did comedy, and I talked about it. One way I promote my podcast is through dating apps, and so I, people will be like, "Oh, I listen to your podcast," and I feel like I'm losing because people who have access to my podcast get to know me more than I get to
Hmm.
know them, because my podcast
Yeah.
has solo episodes about me, or even the ones I talk with other people. I share things like
Right.
I literally did last year on June for my no 2 years ago. Oh shit! On my 31st birthday, I because it was the first time I was producing episodes on my birthday week. Normally, I take June off, and I ended up doing 34 questions for my 34th birthday. And somebody interviewed me. I did not know the questions or anything, right? And they did right. They started with professional, then they went to personal, then everything. So there are things that I answered where so people have access to know me without me telling them about me. So when you
Hmm.
go to ChatGPT, even if you don't say your name, but you put in some things, I know if you copy them from there and put them on Google, it's gonna pull up my podcast or
Yeah.
something. Like, cause those
Yeah.
was SEO, right? The fuck they say SEO. So we
Yeah.
are in off advantage, and I feel like AI knows. We just want to think they don't, but anything right now online is available to anyone.
Yeah, all of our data, there's nothing that's really private anymore. And I mean,
It
that's
is what
something
it
that,
is.
yeah, I mean, our data is being sold. I mean, the amount of spam likely calls that I get every day is annoying. That's basically my alarm clock at 9 a.m. is a spam likely
Do
call
what
every
I did.
morning.
Do what I did. I put all my calls on send to voicemail. So half of the time, if you're not saved on my phone doesn't even ring. Like, and I don't even get. I shut down notifications for everything. Like, I have to go into WhatsApp to see WhatsApp messages. I have to go into my messages to
Yeah,
see messages. I have to go into my calls to see missed calls or calls. Like, I do not have notification for no shit. I sent all my calls to voicemail. And my phone is always on silent. Like, that's how much peace I want. Even
my phone,
my dad at one point said, and this was also, I think my phone has always been on silent since I was in college, because again,
yeah,
I'm constantly in class where your phone has to be on silent, right? So I got tired of in class phone on silent, coming out, putting it on loud. And then you go into class, you forget to put it on silent, and then it rings, and then everybody's looking at you, and then you have to put it off.
right.
So my phone has always been on silent. My dad will complain, how the fuck is it that you have your phone and it's ringing and nobody's answering? Because I would go home for vacation and my phone would be on silent, and my dad would have just left the house and maybe he's calling me because he forgot something on the table and he wants me to take it out to him in the car because he doesn't want to come in or anything. And here is Paula not answering the phone. So he'd have to call the maid and be like, can you tell Paula to do this? And he would get angry. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, he's like, what if I'm dying? I'm like, well, dad, if you're dying, you're dying. What can I do?
Don't
Like,
call me, call 911.
like, what am I supposed? He's like, maybe I have last words for you. I'm like, thank God for
Put them
voicemail.
on voicemail.
I would love you to leave me a voicemail. That way I can listen to it every time I miss you compared to you telling me. And then when the phone dies, I forget. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, no, dad, I'm very serious. Like, I'm sorry. If you're dying, you're dying. The news can wait, whether it's 2 a.m. or fucking 10 a.m. It will still
Hmm.
be the same news. You're dead, and
Hmm.
that's okay. And if you want to leave me a last message, please leave a voicemail, because I'd love to constantly listen to it, play it on my podcast. Well, at that time I didn't have a podcast, but right now, imagine playing all messages like, "Oh my god, my friend left me a voicemail before she died." Here's what she said. Okay, I'm being dramatic now.
I do want to say hey to James. I hope to have you on here soon on the blue couch. I love you and I miss you.
You
Um,
said thank you for sharing talk shit with me.
totally
Nama,
on brand, right? We're on brand. We're on brand tonight.
that means James is officially a talk shit with P fan. James, I don't know you, and you're
Look,
commenting on Facebook. But you can find me on Instagram, Talk Show with P. Slide in those DMs and let's connect. Because I love people who feel like.
So James is actually he. I think he's James. Have you gone to Podfest as well? I think you have. And he's also a colon cancer survivor.
He
He's
said, leave
absolutely
a
amazing.
message.
So here's my thing though, right? If you go to voicemail, you just go into a black hole because I don't check my voicemails. So just text me. If you know
I,
me, just
I,
text
I
me.
forget, but sometimes I listen. Like, yo, I
Mm,
keep
I don't
blocking my
check.
ex, and then he always leaves me a voicemail. And then every time I miss him, instead of calling him, I go and listen to the voicemails. And I'm like, oh, this is why I blocked him. I don't need to call him. I'm good.
I
But then that's
I'm
all different mindset because you don't check your voicemails. But this is also something, Amanda, I'm sorry I'm putting your business out there, but Amanda does this thing, right? She she she's she's known for blocking motherfuckers. Like you piss off Amanda, the first thing she goes is block, 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 block. I'm like, then girl, I will take a minute before I come to the terms of blocking. Like you really have to piss
yeah,
me off for me to block you.
yeah.
I don't just block. But Amanda goes straight like fuck that energy block. Like that's the first thing. And then every end of the month she goes into a block list and looks who needs to be to give an a second chance.
I actually like that. I think that's gonna be my new thing because I
And
don't block people.
wait, she allows people back in, the people she thinks maybe they've learned their lesson. And then when they come back in, as soon as they speak and if they're bringing up all shit that she doesn't like, she goes block. You didn't deserve a second chance.
You know what my version of block is? Oh, James says he's never been to Podfest. Yes, you definitely need to come next year. It is the ish. Especially if you want to start a podcast or a live stream, James, hit me up. I'd love to help you.
Please go to
But
Podfest. I love it. I won't be there next year, which is gonna be weird because a lot of people are already bashing me and calling and texting me
Podfest is
like,
not Podfest without Paula.
and especially now that they made me a governor, and I was on the call with Chris yesterday planning because we have VidFest in Atlanta next month and then Podfest in January. And right now, speak applications are open. So anybody wants to speak at Podfest, go apply. Trust me,
Shameless plug for Chris.
you think you are not a speaker, but you are. Go apply. And if you're in Atlanta, tickets for VidFest are $99, baby. But even if you're not in Atlanta, I can give you the code and you can get the ticket for 99 if you come
Tell
to
me,
Atlanta for VidFest.
send
But
me, send me when and where because I'd love to come. It's just an
yeah,
8 hour drive for me.
VidFest is August 21 to 24 in Atlanta.
Okay.
It's gonna be amazing. We have incredible shit, and we're gonna honor Neil. And
Okay.
speaking of grief and mental health, right? We lost Neil this year in February, and I don't think I love God and I'm a godly person, but sometimes I'm also like the fuck. And I I cannot comprehend how Chris is doing because last year February he lost Lee, who was day one Podfest. This year February he lost Neil, who was day one Podfest. And I feel like with Neil, that Sunday, I even talked to him on that Sunday because he went to his car show and his daughter was recording him. His daughter um, had just celebrated her birthday. And I even told Neil, I was like, oh, you're starting them young? He was like, yes, we got to teach them young. They were having a fun Sunday fun day, doing what he loves most, creating content. He's a video
Mm-hmm.
guy in a car show. He loves cars, especially Mustang. So, and he was with his daughter. He loves his daughter and his wife. That's his best friend. So they were all together, and then on Monday he was supposed to be recording. Most people don't know this, but Chris has a YouTube page about parrots, and Neil was helping him with that, and they were supposed to shoot that
Wait,
day.
he has a page about what?
Parrots,
Like the birds?
yeah, Chris and Katie have parrots who they talk in their house.
I didn't know that. That's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
oh yeah. Even the first thing he asked me when he found out my dad was, I was a government kid, was like, so can I get parrots phone in?
I kind of want a
What?
parrot that says, I want a parrot that says, check your shit.
Oh my God, I will send you a link for my friends in Canada. They have a parrot that even Snoop Dogg reposted. That parrot is so famous, he talks so much shit and curses because also the parents are amazing. And that guy is a TikTok fanatic. He was the manager for the guy who never talked, Kwame, the black guy who never
Hmm.
talked on TikTok but just did things and became rich. Yeah, and all that. But they also have a parrot called Gusmos. Gusmos, yeah. Yo, people know Gusmos. He has more followers on Instagram and TikTok than anybody I know. But
That's
anyway,
crazy.
so Chris couldn't shoot the day. He canceled with Neil because his dad was sick at the hospital. And mind you, Neil had just lost his dad the year before in
Wow.
November. So Neil was like, hey, I would give anything to spend another day with my dad, take care of your dad, do that. So he decided to to take a day off, and he told Chris, this is the first time where as an entrepreneur doing my own shit, I have enough money that I've paid all my bills and things, so I'm gonna take a day off because I'm good for this month. And he took a day off and went to look at cars with his brother and just passed out and died.
Wow.
That shit shook us as a community. It broke us. Even the thought yesterday, I was talking to Chris, I was like, how how are we gonna plan the last party at Podfest because he used to DJ it. Like, how is that even gonna feel? Even VidFest, this would be his thing, like his YouTube. We agreed to do VidFest separate because Neil was headlining this shit. He was never a podcast guy. He just was supportive of Podfest. He was always video guy. So for us to lose that, and people underestimate the grief of that. People expect that you're gonna be sad for a few days and then it ends, but grief comes in different waves. And as the
Hmm.
black community, we just lost Malcolm, right? So that loss kind of awakened the loss with Neil, especially now we're getting so close to VidFest and we're like, fuck, we're doing
Yeah.
this without Neil.
Yeah.
Last time Chris was in Atlanta, Neil was here with him. And again, me being the girls who's always around the boys, I was in the boys club. I was in a room. We went to dinner. It was me, Chris Ton, um, and Neil. Like I'm always around these boys, being the only girl, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I would take the boys over the girls anytime because fuck your
Same.
bitches.
Same.
No offense.
Same. Same.
Um, so when I tell you we are struggling, but also trying so much to show up and do for the community, but deep down, we are hurting.
Hmm.
And I remember I was talking to Zach and I was talking to Zach and also, oh my God, the host guy, who I even won an award from him. And I was talking, I'm like, how we surviving when we are losing our people and we're losing the good people. Like, can't you all
And you're losing them
take this
young.
motherfucker? Can't you take these annoying ass motherfuckers? I'm sorry. Like, I get it. We're all gonna die, but take these annoying motherfuckers and leave my people. And
Yeah.
The community is dying right now. I'm scared of what next February has, because 2 years in a row in February we lost people who were highlight to a community I love. Nobody can tell me shit about Podfest. Podfest is home to me. Whether I'm
Mm-hmm.
there personally or not, Podfest is home. It's the reason all these amazing things are happening to me and my podcast journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason I show up as I show up. They believed me when nobody did. They gave me chances. I went to Podfest as a nobody, to a speaker, to an ambassador, to a mayor, to a governor, a volunteer ambassador, mayor, governor. They didn't care about my title, how long I've been podcasting. They just cared about me as how I showed up. And I showed up as myself. If you've seen me at Podfest, I have a Budweiser in Red Bull 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm drinking from 8 a.m. I don't even know how I survived Podfest, to be honest, with the way I did rocking.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And
And the
you
fact
know,
that
I
I'm drinking from 8 and they allow me to be on stages with my fucking Budweiser. Honest to you, please don't change that, because
I mean, I I do want to say I am sorry about losing Neil. I know he was really big in the Podfest family, as was Lee. Um, and
from day
I have
one,
to say,
Lee offered the space for the first meetup. Neil offered the
yeah,
hotel for the first conference. Look at that. And we lost both people. Like
yeah,
the people pioneered, ooh, because of them, Podfest is how it is. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. But I do want to say too, Lee was also part of my CRC family, and he was my friend for a very long time. And being in this space, Paula, I've lost so many friends that I've lost count. And I have a lot of group pictures where I'm the last one standing. And most of us who are passing away were young. And I told my mom when my friend Yuli died, he was 45. He had just turned 45 in August. He died in December. And I called my mom crying, and she's like, "Well, death is a part of life." But you know what? That is, I love my mom, but that is one of the most insensitive things somebody could ever say. Because
I
when
mean,
you
it
lose
is
someone,
true, but wrong
it's
timing,
true.
wrong
But,
timing, wrong
and
time.
she says this every time I lose a friend, death is part of life. I need to get used to
I
this. You
mean, we all
cannot
know
get
we are all
used
gonna
to,
die and it's okay, but you can't get used to
but,
death,
hold
losing
on.
people. There's never
I
getting
am,
used to that.
I am 45 and I've lost hundreds of friends over the past decade. That is not effing normal. That is not okay. And that is not a normal part of life, especially when most of my friends, like Lee, he was diagnosed at 50. So although he was a 12-year survivor, he was still considered fucking young. You know what
But
I'm
let me tell
saying? It's not
one part,
okay.
one
It's
part.
not okay.
It is normal in life, because again, as I said, we are all supposed to die. I That's why sometimes I'm like, why are we struggling if we are here to live a bit and die? Like, let us just live happy and then die peacefully. Like, what's the point of struggling if we are, at the end of the day, we are dying, right? It is part of life,
Mhm.
but it's just sad, and it's okay. Like, there's certain days when they come, you're like, yeah, cool. And then there are those that hit you harder, and you never know which one will hit you harder, or which one will make sense to you, or which one will not make sense. Like, none of that will ever make sense. But death is normal, and that's part of life, yes. But you should never tell somebody who's grieving how to grieve, or remind them that death is part of life while they're grieving. That's fucked up.
And or that they need
We
to
all get
toughen
it.
up
Like,
and
we
not
all
share their
know it.
shit. Sorry.
No,
You were saying?
I'm saying we all get it, and it's part of life, and we
Yeah.
know it's coming, but you
Yeah.
don't need to remind us in that moment. Because
And
that
not
moment,
only that,
I it's okay for me to be sad and cry about losing a person I love and care about. And these
yeah,
are the same people they will cry about strangers on TV who die, who they never even knew.
right.
But then
Right.
I'm crying about somebody I actually knew who gave a purpose for my life. That's fucked up.
Thank you, Cooper, about the voicemails. Yeah, voicemails, that's so old school. Like, you might as
No,
well
Cooper,
page me.
I want
You might as well page me.
Cooper. Cooper, I'm personally gonna give you my fucking number so you can leave me a voicemail.
I get
Cause
my
I want
voicemails
voicemail.
transcribed, okay? So my voicemails become text
No,
messages. That's how I am.
but also no, but also thank God for Apple these days. They transcribe them, even voice notes, right? You don't have to listen
Yeah,
to the voice notes. You can read the script, even though they don't really get it like that. But I'd
yeah,
rather have your last word on a voicemail than on a phone call. Because once that phone call ends,
I
I
agree.
don't hear you again. But the
I
voicemail,
agree.
I have some voicemails that I've saved. I delete my voicemails, but I have some voicemails that was saved 5, 6 years ago. People that are no longer here, but anytime I miss them because yes, now we have social media, right? Where people post videos and we have
But it's not the
podcasts where
same.
sometimes you're grateful that your friend who died made it to your podcast, right? But maybe a
Yeah.
podcast is too long for you to listen, or it's not what you need to hear. That voicemail, because a voicemail can just be as, oh my God, I just miss you. I want to talk shit with you. Oh my God, I love you. Please call me. Nothing important. Like just that hyperness, that, and because it's a message just for you. So
Yeah.
listening to it can, in those times when you're missing them, can mean way more. So yeah, God delete those your inboxes and make space. Cause trust me, when you lose somebody who you wish would have left your voicemail, you're gonna wish you had space on that phone call. Especially when you
Like,
see a
yeah.
missed call and then they couldn't leave a voicemail and then they died. You're like, man, I wish I knew what they were calling me for. Cause now you
Like,
can't call
I
them back.
wish, yeah, like,
Because
I
now you
don't have
can't call them
any,
back. They're dead. And they didn't leave your
yeah.
voicemail because your fucking voicemail is full because you didn't believe in voicemails. I'm
No,
just
I have
saying.
voicemails. I have voicemails. I just don't listen to them. But I do want to stop this and just say real quick, James, he's part of the CRC community, so he knows about survivor's guilt and how many people we lose, every year. Sometimes we lose multiple people in a week or a day. Especially when so many are gone way too soon, and a lot of us are young. I also want to say that, he says you cherish those messages. I still have my mom from 10 years ago, also my dad and my younger brother. I wish I had voicemails from my grandfather, but he died back in 2012. So I don't have those voicemails. And I
Exactly.
kind of remember what his voice sounded like. But I do want to say that grief is the hardest emotion I have ever experienced because it's all of the emotions all in one. It's the love, it's the anger of them being gone, it's the sadness, it's the happiness of the memories that you have. It's all of the emotions in one, and it's so complex and so hard to unpack. And grief does not have a timeline. Like, that person is forever gone. You're going to forever grieve them. And I think a lot of people forget that. Like, I check in on Linda Silverstein regularly because I know how big of a person Lee has been to people. Even when, after meeting them one time, he leaves a lasting impact. And I can only imagine how much she misses him. And grief is really hard on her too, and on all of the people who have lost someone to anything. But I also want to say that when I lost Yuli, I happened before his funeral that morning. I look back at our text messages, and there are voice notes that we sent each other randomly a couple months before he passed. And it was just me saying, "Hey bestie, I haven't heard from you in a minute. Yeah, how you doing? I just want you to know I love you and I miss you." And telling him how much he meant to me. And it was just a random voice note. And he sent me a voice note back, and he's like, "Am I dying? Are you dying? Why do you sound like this?" But he really got me. And those voice notes that we've sent back and forth, over those 7 years, like, I play them back, and it's like when I want to call him or text him, this is somebody I'm used to talking to every day. Having those voice notes to play back, it feels like he's still here with me. And they give me a lot of comfort. And so you're right. Like these are things that we cherish, and we're lucky that we have the technology now that we can save these things. Like when I miss Lee, I can't make it through the entire episode still a year later, but I do replay at least the first moments. And there's this favorite moment of mine when I said, "You have no idea what I have planned for you, do you?" And he looked and he was like, "Should I be scared?" And I play that moment over and over again because it was so Lee. And it just feels so good to have his voice on his podcast and to have that live stream to play back. And, it makes me appreciate technology that now it's like we have people still alive, although they're no longer here. And it's not just the celebrities who are on TV. Now it's everyday people like me and you. We have these things that will live on even after we're gone. And I think that's really, really beautiful, and James, he says that he cherishes the messages that he has. And Cooper's here asking if the parrots are better speakers than lyrebirds. I don't know what lyrebirds are. I feel pretty ignorant right now, so I'm gonna have to look that up and Google it after.
And
But
that's not true, but with this episode, because every time I think of him, I go back to when he saw me on the screen and said, "Oh,
he
Paula,"
lit up. He lit up so much when he saw you.
and that I just played that part, and I just freeze him there, and I feel all the emotions and stuff. And I am gonna say this for anybody who's a friend of Chris Cremisos, please check on him. Because to lose two best friends in a span of a year, February to February,
And Zach as well.
Zach too. And they carry so much on them. But also, I'm gonna start with Zach. Zach, I love you, baby, and I'm trying to make him come to Atlanta just because I wanna hug him. I have a picture of Zach carrying me at Port Friend, but I'm gonna start this thing of where I'm gonna send people a message to just call me and let it ring, and let them leave a voicemail. Like,
Mhm.
cause they might not call you on the day they're dying. Some people might not even know they're dying. Cause I mean, Neil, he just had that attack and died. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure if he knew he was dying, he would have called his wife and left a voicemail or anything last word. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask people to call me. I'm not gonna pick up and let it go to voicemail and people just leave me something on the voicemail, whatever they wanna say. That way I can always have it with me. Cause I'm I wanna I used to think I've been losing people since I was a very young age, from my grandparents to then and every death it's you different because of who that person was or what they meant to you. And that's why some are harder than others, and it's okay. You can grieve however you want. And people assume, oh, after a few months you should be over it. There's no way of being
Mhm.
over grieving. I still grieve my best friend 20 years ago. And there's certain things that trigger your people because you'll be like, oh shit, I'd be sharing this with this, I'd be doing this with this. So let's embrace grief and turn it around. So that way, I feel like because we don't talk about death, whenever it comes, people have this like, we're all gonna die. And I try, even these days, I try to have conversations with my dad and mom, like, do you have your will together? Do you know this? Like, people don't want to talk about those things because they assume that you're bringing death in your doors. But baby, the fucking truth is we're all
Right.
dying. Nobody's gonna live forever.
Yeah.
So let us
Yeah.
be prepared. So get your stuff together. Have your people, especially when you have younger kids. Who's gonna watch your kids when you're gone? Because again, you might die separately with your partner, or you might get in a car crash and both of you die at the same time. And now you're leaving kids with no one. So get on your wheels, get on your paperwork, Who's going to take care of this? What are you going
And
to do this?
living
Talk about
wills.
your financials. Talk about
Yeah.
your all these things and leave voicemails for your people. And maybe that's why also I tell people that I am 36 and I don't have a child. I've always wanted to be a mother. Will that happen for me? I don't know. But if it does, and if my parents are not around, because again, age and things, at least I have episodes with my dad and my mom talking about raising me that my kid can listen. So again, podcasting is also one way of creating
Mhm.
memories or leaving something for your kids or your
Mhm.
family. Like if I go today, people can always listen to most of my bullshit and be like, "Oh my god, I miss Paula's shit talking." So I'll go check out I have solo episodes where I'm talking shit or whatever. I'm working on different things. I'm creating a private podcast for specific reasons. That way, people can make it in a way that people can have presence of you while you're gone. Cause when you die, you're gone. You don't care about what happens, but you're leaving your people here struggling to cope with the fact you're no longer there. So
Mhm.
leave them something to cope with.
I actually just had an idea for you, Paula. What if as part of your final what if as part of your final episode you have a stream where you allow people to come on and say what talk shit with P and what you mean to them?
Oh, that's cause here's the part. Talk Shit with P will come back, but in 2 years. I hope I'm
Okay.
still
So
alive.
it's just a
But the plan,
hiatus. It's just a
yeah,
break.
a longest break. But the
Please don't
plan
be like
is,
Dexter. Don't be like Dexter where it took like a decade though, okay?
the plan is, the plan is to come back on my 40th birthday.
Okay.
Because right now I'm building a business, and as a person who's independent and doing everything by myself with low income and shit, I can't concentrate on everything and get everything done
Mhm.
and give it the energy it deserves.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna lack one way. So I feel like for right now, Talk Shit with P has done what he needed to do, and that's why I wanna end it on year five, 10 seasons. That way, when we come back, we're coming on a new decade, like 11, right? 1 to
Right.
10, 11. Even if we come with a different brand or anything, it's brand new. It's not like but for right now, but it's funny you say that because in the episode with Joe, which is a teaser I'm about to put up in the few days I was editing it, I I do ask him his first expression of me and now, and we talk about that, and then we talk about change and pivoting and rebranding. That's all what the last season is. But
Right.
also, I was talking to somebody, and they're like, it would be nice to find out a peace story, right? Like the first time you met P or the expression of I posted it in a video and somebody commented, oh, the first time I met P, she did it. I was like, this could be our whole segment. So we are gonna I feel like for that would be perfect as also a 40th birthday and
Mhm.
like a 40th episode where people talk about the expressions about me or the first time they met me, what they thought versus what I really am, and then bring in the new episode, the new season, whatever. So we're working on
I think
that.
that'd
But
be
you're
great.
right on. You're right on.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Kind of like a reverse version of Lee, but yeah, I think that'd be
That's
kind
if
of
I'm
neat.
still alive by then, because
You will
maybe
be. We're gonna speak
living
it
is
into being that you will
expensive.
be.
Living is expensive. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Sometimes
life
I'm
is
like,
hard.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe we should just die and end this shit. Cause
But I can tell you one thing, being sick is even more expensive. I'm still trying to catch up from being sick. So tell me about it.
oh, trust me. that's why sometimes I'm still great. I'm very grateful because I might have this shit, but some people have it worse. But
Yeah.
I also, one part of me is like, who's really gonna miss me when I die? But I also have, I'm that person who has really thought about her funeral. My funeral is gonna be invite only. My funeral is gonna, and I've literally put people in places that if we haven't spoken, if you didn't fuck with me, don't post me. If you post me, you're gonna get sued. Cause those people who just ride the wave, right? Like you didn't even like me, bitch, and now you're posting me gone too soon. I fucking miss you. No, bitch, you don't fucking miss me. I haven't gone too soon. You wanted this. Live with it. So I have all these ideas of my funeral, and somebody even told me, I was like, why are you very excited planning your funeral? I'm like, because that's the last party I'll be planning.
That's true. So I do want to tell Cooper he was saying that I wish that he could do that. He wishes that he could do that. Just automatically turn voicemails into audio texts, and
You
if there's
can.
audio. So yeah, I
You
use
screen record.
Umail.
You screen record them, save them, or you can download them, or you can even use SpeakPipe. You can tell people to send them from through SpeakPipe and download them. But there's so many ways to save voicemails or download them.
I actually use Umail for my voicemail. So I'm actually able to set like a really cool like recording where like if you're saved in my phone, Paula, and you call, it'll say like, "Hey Paula, Shannon's not available right now." Blah 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 blah. But what I like about Umail is that one, it transcribes my texts, and two, it emails them to me. My voicemails, it transcribes them and then it also emails them to me. So I have all of my voicemails in my emails automatically because I'm not one to like I'm organized, but I'm not organized like that. So I like things that do things for me automated. So I really like that app. Again, I'm not paid by them. I'm not sponsored by them, but that's just a tool that I use and I really love it. I've been using that for like since 2011, I would say 2012, since forever. But I also want to say, Paul, like going
We,
back
we've
to
been we've
grief and
been we've
going,
we've been live for 2.5 hours.
I know we're
Co-
about to wrap it up.
Cooper, you are godsend because you've been here since the beginning. Like people came in and they gave up and left. You've been sticking with us. So can we give a special flowers? I think Cooper deserves a blue chat hat or something sent to him.
Yes, Cooper, please DM me and
Send your address. You deserve a
yes.
match.
I
Even
will
talk
give
shit with
you
him.
we will send
we will
you
we
a
will we
care
will work
package.
together and
We got
send you
you.
something because we appreciate you, and not only have you been here with us, but you have been very um
Engaged.
engaging in the comments, and
I
we
feel like we should
love
just
it.
bring him
We
on one
appreciate.
evening.
I mean, even right now, if it's free, if he wants to come on, I feel like for the last 30 minutes, because I feel
He's
like we
probably
should
in his
go three.
pajamas.
I feel like we should go to 3 hours, so we have 30 minutes, 32. But if you're up for it and you wanna come, just say the word and we'll send you a link. We don't care if you're in your pajamas. Literally, I am in my pajamas. Okay,
I am
like
too.
like the
See, I'm
top
in my
is just
shorts, but
a
you can't see.
t-shirt. But shout out to Podops, baby. They're one of my favorites. Apart from Mopad, Mopad is always number one. But we love Podops. They're the best hosting site, and I'll be hosting my private podcast with them. We love
Nice.
Teddy. He now has he's actually a real dog and he comes to conferences, but now he has
Oh,
a brother as well. So we love it. And Rob is amazing. I love Rob. Like I talk shit to Rob. Is my guy. I'm grateful for the support he gives me and the check-ins he does with me. And I actually have a cute picture with Teddy. He literally was like kissing me, like, oh my
oh,
God, amazing. I met Teddy for the first time last year in DC when we went to Podcast Movement. And then they also came to Afros and Audios, but Teddy didn't come, but Rob was there. And I believe Podfest as well. Rob was speaking at Podfest. But yeah, big fan, and I'm excited for a new partnership. So
Oh,
shameless plug over there for people who are looking
we're
for
all for it.
hosting services. I'm also team Buzzsprout. Talk Shit with you is hosted by Buzzsprout, and I love Buzzsprout, but they don't offer private hosting. That's why I'm going to them for my next show.
Okay. I do want to say, just going back, to grief and not knowing when people are gonna go. I think it's really important to give their people their flowers while they're still here. I want to
That's why
emphasize
Talk Shit with
that.
you, we do that. I love it.
Yeah,
I feel like, and that's why I clap for people right now. Cause if you're watching me struggle, that's when I want you to clap for me. But if you're not gonna
yeah,
clap for me right now, and then once I'm on Oprah's Coach or Snopes or whoever, or getting an Emmy or whatever, and that's when you're clapping, bitch, you're fake as fuck, and I don't wanna deal with you, and you're gonna be sent to
yeah.
my assistant before you get to me.
Oh, I do remember what lyrebirds are now. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Um, Cooper, let us know if you want to join us live, or if you want to join us
I
live
know
at another time. We
it's
can
like
arrange it.
he ignored us on that part. Like, Cooper, come
He's
on.
like he's like, "Nah, I'm in my bed." But
He's
I
like,
do.
fuck these bitches. I'm just gonna stick on the comments.
Cooper, maybe Cooper has social anxiety like I do. Like nobody, people look at
Bitch,
me.
I don't even believe you have social anxiety because I've met
I
you in
do.
person and I've seen you. But you remember when the first time you told me what I said? I said I don't believe that. Fuck that shit.
But here's the thing, Paula, if you notice, I get to everything late, and it's because I'm so anxious. I will sit in the parking lot for an hour
I
before
don't
I even
believe
walk
the
into
same
an
Jesse.
event.
I just thought you're just the latest bitch because everybody's late, especially black
Caribbean
people.
people
They're
time?
latest
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
no.
Exactly.
No, but I actually get anxiety before I even pack to travel. I pack
But then
last
once you're in
minute.
the room,
But then once I'm in the room, I'm
you
I'm there. Yeah, I have an alter
exactly.
ego,
That's why I'm like, okay.
but I also have Clonopin as my friend, so it's kind of like an Ativan. So yeah, so Clonopin is my friend. I do take
Oh
it,
my
and it
god,
helps
did you
me a
guys
lot.
see me going to my food and eat? Oh damn, everything is
It's
caught on
cool.
camera.
It's cool. We're live. We're good. I also want to say, like, just to emphasize, like, you and I don't talk all the time, but I know
Bitch,
that
we didn't
if
talk the whole year.
I know, I was like, I really want her on. Should I call her? And I was like, I'm gonna call her. Either she's gonna hang up on me, send me the voicemail, whatever, but I'm gonna
You
call
should be
her.
happy I answered. That's the thing.
I was surprised. But you know what though? When you're family, and also when you have, like, when you're very alike with people, sometimes you have things that happen, but then that also brings you closer, I feel too.
I'm a
Because it
person
shows
who
that you can
believes
overcome things.
I'm a person who believes if anybody has told me they've been with their person or their friends and never fought in life, then
That's not a real
somebody is
friendship.
faking. Somebody is faking it. Cause you're not true friends until you argue, you disagree, and you. I don't believe that there could be people who meet and they're alike. Even twins are not alike. Even twins argue.
Yeah.
So if twins who come out 1 second apart and they are constantly, you can tell you can tell me shit.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
me, I've also been in that stage in life where when I argue or fight with people, if it's my fault, I will do the reaching out in time. Because I also
Yeah.
feel people need to have their space to calm the fuck down. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, you're just going to be talking to a wall. Because you have to
Yeah.
make sure that the person is also in a mindset to hear you and listen. Because sometimes
And
we listen
yeah,
to respond instead of listening to understand. So
true.
until they're ready to listen to understand instead of listening to response, there's no conversation that's gonna happen. And if I'm not in the wrong, I'm gonna give them time for them to figure it out and come back to me. Like, I don't know grudges. I hate holding grudges. Like, and I have done my share shit of fucked up shit. So I would be the worst person to say fuck that bitch because she did this when I've done way worse,
Yeah.
and people have forgiven me or given me grace or whatever. And again, I'm not gonna get into it because this is none of anybody's issue on here, but just to say it in a whatever, like, it wasn't my fight. And when something is not my fight, I don't feel like I should fight for anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'ma let it be until,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we didn't talk, but we met at Podfest and there was no hard feelings. Like, we hugged, we supported each
Yeah.
other. Uh,
I actually meant to hang out with you, but if you notice, I wasn't at Podfest much.
I didn't see
I
you
was
at all
going through
apart
a
from your
lot.
conversation when you were also kind of freaking out and I gave you Andrew's number and then whatever. But I was also this year at Podfest I was so busy. I feel like a lot passed me by even though I was also in a lot of shit, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like it just went by and
It
I
was
just existed.
yeah.
But again, responsibility comes with so much shit. Like, the more responsibility Podfest gives me, the more I grow. Podfest feels like I feel like I was being pulled in so many directions and needed to wear so many hats to the extent where I was like, I'm ready to go home.
So I'm actually going to tell you my Podfest experience.
Go ahead.
I lost my best friend Yuli in December,
Mm-hmm.
and Podfest was January. I was so out of it. I drove up to Maryland. I drove 15 hours straight to go to Yuli's funeral. And then Tim was like, "Hey, see you at Podfest in a few days." And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, Podfest." So I literally drove straight from Maryland to Orlando for Podfest from my friend's funeral. So I was in the middle of my grieving and all of that shit. So I wasn't even in this space. I really wasn't at Podfest much. I honestly slept through most of those days. I wasn't sleeping much at night. So I wasn't really there. I missed most of it. The only time that I really did show up, I think, was for my presentation, and I don't think I was there for much more than that. And I was actually so out of it. Tim's gonna laugh when he sees this, and Cyan. But I actually ended up in a ditch one night trying to go to back to the Airbnb. I was driving at night. It was dark. I didn't know where I was going, and I ended up in with my car stuck in a freaking ditch. And the people who like came out of the house, like they were so sweet because I was so embarrassed. Like I was literally stuck. And like they were nice enough to help me get my car out. And Tim and Cyan, like they I kind of just like was just like laughing it off, but it was really just my frame of mind. I really shouldn't have even been driving. So that like I meant to like spend time with you and everything, and I just didn't get to because I really wasn't present although I was trying to be.
And that's
And
okay. And I think it worked out
yeah.
the right way because I don't think mentally I was also there to spend time with you, even though like I knew because I was trying to avoid the conversation because we couldn't just we couldn't just hang out without having that conversation.
Oh
Because
no, we could have. We could
no,
have. We
no,
could have just had
because
some drinks.
no, because this was the first time we were meeting, and trust me, you don't have drinks with me when I'm holding shit in, because that's when shit comes out, and it comes out in the wrong way. So I'd rather somebody have conversation with me before having a drink, because if we do that before the drinks, then I make fun of it and turn it into a joke. But
Right.
If we're having a drink and pretending, and eventually the drinks are kicking in, I'm gonna say it, but I might say it in the wrong way, and which might
Right.
end up being a bigger problem than it was. So to me, it was like, oh, I hugged her. We were cool, right, cordial and thing. And as much as I love my, excuse me,
You're fine.
as much as I love my podcast family and everything, I also there are certain people who I give more of my time because they show up as well for me. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm at Podfest, um, I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but Mopad, Joe, Mike, Chase, those boys have my heart, have my loyalty, have my undivided attention. If
Mm-hmm.
they ring, I'm there. Fuck everything else. Sorry, not sorry. Because those boys have shown out for me in times where nobody has, in times where they didn't even need to.
Right.
And they've been my day ones in podcasting community. I met them, and we talk about this in the episode I did with Joe. And until today, despite everything about me, they fucking ride hard with me, for me, and rock with me. And so when it comes to anywhere where those boys are there, I don't care who you are or anything. My first loyalty goes to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't help matters when Mike decided to pay me to do some shit. Normally they don't pay me, like I'm not affiliated or anything. Everything I do for Mopad is me believing in them and using their product and everything. They don't pay me for shit. But then Mike decided to pay me to take pictures of them, which I normally do. And I was like, you're making it not fun because I love doing it. So I was also in the clock of the fact that, yo, now Mike has paid me. So I also have to be making sure I'm getting content for that place. And I would do that for them regardless. But it was, and I just want to say, when you have people who love how you are authentically, how you show up, how you run your podcast, how you move, and everything, support you in every way they can,
Mm-hmm.
personally and professionally, stand by them. And this is
Yeah.
more part for me. Like people, people never and probably will never understand. But those moped boys go hard for me, and I'll forever go hard for them. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a different kind of love. Those boys are my family.
Mm-hmm.
And we were even talking, I was like, I feel like you boys are gonna literally create my veil, my wedding dress. Like I feel like if I ever get married, when I get married, my wedding dress will have more pad on it. And we talked about it. We literally had a conversation in Chicago and we talked about it. And then the fact that they're always willing to show up for me and have
Mm-hmm.
raw, honest conversations. Joe has been
Mm-hmm.
a mentor to me, like when I needed guide with a business plan for podcasting because I didn't know shit. He offered his services and was there. When I had a fire, Joe, Mike, and Chase in rotation were constantly checking on me to the extent that I was like, "Can you all leave me alone?" That's how much they were checking on me. To when I had to go to a retreat this year, they sponsored and supported me in that retreat. Like,
Wow.
these boys ride hard for me, and I fucking love them. And I will always support and be there. So anytime I go to these conferences, if they're there, no matter what I was there for, my number one is
Right.
them and will always be. Like nobody can tell me no shit about these boys. And when
Yeah.
I also tell them I don't fuck with this person, we're not fucking with them, they'll be like, okay, we're not fucking with them. And I love it. And I love it. They're amazing.
Cooper, I want to say yes,
Cooper
two
said
cigars and
two
a
cities.
blunt. Yeah, I guess
Cooper,
he's
Cooper
cooked. So I do want to say yes, that will be the first thing since that's tomorrow. But then Blue Couch Chat will be back next week, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
can you give
Um,
people a teaser on what you have planned for next week since you're coming back?
I tentatively have a guest. She has not confirmed with me yet, but she is one of my sisters in colorectal cancer. I also, in the coming season, I do have a collaboration that is pending with this lady who runs this thing called Blue Couch Therapy. She is a mental health professional. And I just happened to Google Blue Couch Chat while I was in Chicago, and Blue Couch Therapy came up on Google second after my own website. And I was like, let me see what this is. And she had a blue couch as her logo. And it turns out that she literally her office is 1 mile away from me. And
Okay,
so
so who
I
has the
called her.
trademark? Who has the
So,
trademark of this?
well, no, I have Blue Couch Chat. She has Blue Couch Therapy. So we'll do a collaboration with two blue couches. So
But I feel
yeah,
like you haven't trademarked, have you?
I have when well, I will trademark it when I incorporate. It will be trademarked because
Okay, do you
I
have a
am
LLC?
so since you brought it up, one of the things that I am working on is I am working on creating Blue Couch Chat as a nonprofit organization, so that I can take this advocacy. I don't intend that when I monetize or any monetization or any sponsors that I get, I don't want it coming into my pocket. I want it to be able to use it to help other people like what I'm doing and to amplify this platform. So I am planning some fundraisers in the coming weeks that so you can help me to get Blue Couch Chat to where it needs to be as a 501c3 organization. I also really would like to have the Go Studio Box. So I'm hoping that you guys can help me get that so that I can take Blue Couch Chat on the road with me when I go to Podfest and I go to other events.
Have you had
Um,
conversations with Junaid?
with who?
Junaid?
I have, and he can't give me too much of a discount or anything like that. I'm hoping that maybe if I form my organization, maybe they will donate one to me, and I can have them as a sponsor on my live stream. I don't know. I'll try to come up with a proposal. Junaid, if you do see this, please think about it because I am really trying to help people through what
And
I'm
have you
doing.
reached out to Gordon?
No, you can send me their contacts because I only know Junaid.
Gordon Podfest is the entertainment lawyer, the podcasting lawyer who helps us with LLC and trademark and all the good stuff.
No, I don't know him.
Okay, you need to get with Gordon.
Yes, I do.
What's vibrating? That
Oh, so my
vibrator should be
cousin.
someone else.
No, no, no. It was my phone. I swear it was my phone. It was my cousin Sue hitting me up. I don't think she realizes that I'm still live. So, Sue, if you're watching, I'll call you back. As soon as I'm done.
I mean,
This
you
is gonna
did
be
tell
another
her to
sleepless
call
night.
you, so.
Yeah, this will be another sleepless night for me. I do have 3 assignments due tomorrow at midnight. So,
Okay, so let's
yeah.
wrap this up so you
Yes,
can.
let's wrap this up, me and Paula. I
Because
do want
me
to
and you
say
are all yappers and we can yap, yap, yap,
we
yap,
talk a
yap.
lot of shit and we have fun talking shit. So Cooper,
Wait,
I
Cooper
do.
says yes, Shannon, like Van Gogh. The public can give someone so much attention only after they are dead. fucking years.
True.
I am tired
That's
of people giving people flowers when they're dead. Like, give it to me now when I'm struggling, motherfucker. I'm just
exactly.
saying.
So, one, Cooper, I want to tell you, please look me up on LinkedIn. I'm the only Shannon Leeson, so you can find me
Wait, I
easily.
thought Cooper was. Where did Cooper come from? How did Cooper find us? I love
I
Cooper
think he's on
Gates.
yours.
Is
Cooper, whose friend are you? Because we don't know how you found us.
I'm gonna follow Cooper. I don't care how or where he came from, but
I can't
Cooper.
even find him. I can't find him on
Please don't
mine.
tell me it's AI.
No, he's too cool to be AI.
I mean, AI are cool because my AI can literally talk like me, and I'm cool. So I'm just saying. And I'm
I'm
gonna follow. Wait,
I'm not even seeing Cooper on my thing.
but oh, I have two mutual connections. I'm not sure. Oh, Jose and Marcello.
Okay, so
Marcello who I met when Junaid came into town and hosted a podcast in Atlanta. So I'm gonna get connected with Cooper. I think
Cooper,
it's
please send me a
mine.
request.
I
Yeah,
think
please
we're
send me a
already
request,
following
Cooper.
each other. I think Cooper came from mine. Cooper, I fucking love you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna message you right now.
I
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
so Cooper,
I
please.
have to be premium to message you, Cooper. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be a premium, but
But please connect with me, Cooper. I would love to have you as a friend and to engage some more. It seems
also
like all
come
three
on
of us
Blue
have
Chat and
conversations.
talk shit with P. I feel like you got some shit to
Yes,
say. Cooper, we would
me
love to have
too.
you as a guest. I'd love to do a live. So people, talk shit with P is coming to an end. We already have 15 guests. Season 10
Wait,
is
wait, wait. It's
already.
not an end. It's just a hiatus.
Right now we can call it an end because who knows when it's actually gonna come back and if it's gonna come back. Because maybe in a year
Okay.
I'm gonna feel like I don't wanna bring it back. So that's why I'm letting it be an end for now. An end for now.
Hmm.
But I am getting back into IG lives and broadcasting. So if anybody's interested in that, I love having IG lives and talking shit and whatever. So I'd love to have people for that.
Awesome. So I do want to wrap this up as you said, because we're coming up on the what is this 3 hour mark, which is crazy. But you know what? I think we needed to have I know we need to have this conversation, Paula, me and you, about mental health and just how life happens and all of the things and all the people who support us and all the things that keep us going. It's really important that, we talk about these things. It's really great having new people watch. Like Cooper, you have really kept this show going on so long.
We
So
love
thank you
Cooper.
for
I'm
that.
sorry,
Yes,
everybody else.
I'm like
Cooper
in
is.
love. I'm in love. Cooper, you're like a ride or die now.
I
And please
sent you
connect
a
with me because I
message on
really
on LinkedIn, and I connected with you on LinkedIn, Cooper.
can you send me his profile link so I can connect with him, Paula?
If you just click Cooper Gates, it takes you there.
It doesn't for me because I'm the producer. Sue, I would love, love, love to have you on. I was actually going to call you right when I finish. I would love to have you on. It would be a great conversation for sure. So let's talk about that. And it's not just what you've been through, but it's what you've overcome and what you're overcoming. And I am really proud of you for everything that you have overcome. You are more resilient and stronger than you know. And I know I tell you that all the time, but you might be my so-called little cuz, but I admire you and you inspire me and you give me strength and you keep me going. And Paula is telling me that she's done with her wine, so we got to wrap this up. Um,
Exactly. And
so
that
I
was the
will talk to
biggest
you in a
class
few.
2 hours.
So before Paula starts talking shit without a filter, although she already doesn't have a filter, before her little bit of a filter is gone, let's wrap this up. Paula, your filter is as small as you are, but I love you for it. That's why
I
this has
feel
been so
like
much
I
fun.
don't have filter, but once the alcohol is gone, I have
It's gone.
less.
You're like negative
So
filter.
yeah, let's wrap it up before I embarrass myself on LinkedIn,
So
because this is also streaming on LinkedIn, okay?
it is. It is. So Paula, I do want to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you so much for obliging me and being my guest. It has been an absolute pleasure. And like I said, I can't imagine starting off season two with anyone but you. And I would love to have you on some more when you have time as your schedule permits. We can continue having these conversations. um I just love you and I admire you and you inspire me and your energy is just so contagious, like even over the screen or over the phone, and I love you. So I'm giving you your flowers while you're here.
Talk
We're
about
like
giving people
twins.
their flowers while they're here, and then you're like, "Why the fuck are you talking about me like that?" Because inspiring, I never thought I'd be inspiring to people. Motivate, like you talking about me, the wine drinking, Budweiser drinking, Red Bull drinking person who just figure shit out. But thank
Well,
you, I appreciate that.
you you inspire me, one, because I don't know if you know, but I thought for a while about what I wanted Blue Couch Chat to be like. And you're
Oh
part of
yeah,
the
we
reason why I
know.
decided to be
We
live.
have
How
waited
long
a
I
long
thought.
time. Exactly. So we know.
Yeah, but you are part of the reason why I was like, I can talk shit. I can be uncensored. I need to be me. Things don't have to be perfect, although I am
But
still a
also
perfectionist, as
perfect
you can tell.
timing. Because
Yeah.
wouldn't you have been mad at yourself if you have started a week later and Lee had passed away? Because literally you
5 days.
wanted.
It was 5 days. Yeah.
And, and,
Yeah. And
and,
we
and,
planned it for him to
and,
be the first one.
and Shannon, I'm gonna say this, and I've said this so many times. I feel like Lee was ready to go, but he was holding out to see your dream come true. He wanted this to happen, and as soon as you did it, we lost him. But you also gave us something to celebrate and look back to. Not only us, him, his wife, his family. You gave us a joy. And I also want to say, because he couldn't
Sorry.
hold on through the entire episode, I'm grateful that I was among the people that he got to hear me say it to him personally while he was there before he, he had to go nap.
Yeah.
And at Podfest, I never got the chance, but also because one part of me didn't want to accept the reality or face it, and the other part of me wanted to give people the chance who didn't know him. Hence, Amanda getting that moment and everybody else.
Do you
So,
know how? Yeah.
wait. So, coming to your podcast and having the chance to say that to him, because I didn't get to do it at Podfest, was incredible. But what was more incredible is how excited he was
Mhm.
for me being there.
Yeah.
And this is a reminder. Sometimes we think or we assume people don't pay attention. But um, the excitement he held for me when I walked, when he saw it was me, when he heard it was me,
He said, Paula.
that shit sticks with me. And even when we went to the funeral, his family, when they found out, oh, you're Paula from Georgia, yeah, we heard about you, and
Yeah.
everything, that meant everything. But it started with you giving us that platform. So thank you.
Well, I really, it wasn't about me that first episode. Lee is the one who inspired me to do this. He told me I should do a podcast. And then I was like, no, it should be a YouTube because people need to see what I look like to know that I look like them. And our people don't really listen to podcasts. And not only that, but I want to reach the world. And even if you know, Paula, even if you're from a developing country, you have access to social media. And so live streams sometimes are easier to have access to than a podcast that needs a platform, right? So that was the reason behind this being a live stream channel, although I hate being in front of the camera. Um, but the other thing is that I wanted it, people got to say goodbye at Podfest. And it's funny because Lee sent a message to four people, actually three people, and it was him telling them that they need to be at Podfest at this time at this place because he would be there. I was one of those three people. Actually, it was four. It was Chris, me, Zach, and Tim Sohn. And I didn't even see that message until I got back home. So me being there when Lee got there was because I reached out to Lee and said, "Are you coming?" I didn't even see that group text. But I also want to say that I wanted to give people the opportunity to spend that time with him and love on him the way that I did. And the CRC community didn't get to, and his sister was amazed by how many people loved him at Podfest. And I was like, if only you saw the CRC community, how loved he is and how much he's made an impact. And so that's kind of what inspired me to make it, because Lee was supposed to be my first guest. That was what was agreed because he's the reason behind it from years ago, over a decade. But when he when I saw what we had at Podfest and everyone getting to give him his flowers, I decided that I wanted everyone to have that opportunity. And that's how it came in my mind that this is what that first episode should be about. Because so many people did last podcasts with Lee and last live streams with Lee before he passed. And I was like, I don't want to be another last live stream for him. I want to be a celebration for him. I want to be a happy thing for him, not just a goodbye. I wanted it to be, and I love you, and then I'll see you later. But I also want to say that it was funny because I was lingering around Lee and his family, and I would just sit on the floor in the corner, but I just wanted to be there in his presence because I knew it was the last moments. And I'm so glad that I did, and especially after I saw that text. But one thing that Lee taught me is that we always know what somebody means to us, but we often don't get the opportunity to know what we mean to someone. And I never realized how much I meant to Lee and that the feeling was mutual until I did that live stream with him and until I saw him at Podfest. I always felt like I wasn't enough of a friend for him. But I also want to say that Amanda, Lee actually asked me to find him somewhere comfortable to sit because his wheelchair became uncomfortable and he wanted a comfortable chair. And so I was like, okay, let me find a quiet corner where people can still come and spend time with him, but he can be comfortable and his family can have somewhere to sit. And Amanda was in this corner by herself because Brian and Nancy were streaming on the other side. So I said to Amanda, I said, look, you're going to be like, people are going to come, they're going to want this space. And I explained to her what was happening with Lee and everything. And I was like, and she's like, oh, I'll move, I'll leave. And I'm like, no, you don't have to leave. I just want you to know that people are going to come, but it's okay for you to stay. And that's how that whole thing with Amanda happened because I didn't want to just kick her out of the space. But I also didn't want to just be rude and us just move in on her like we're taking over the space either because she was there first. But that's how that whole thing happened, and I'm really glad that she got to meet him and he got to meet her. And like we spoke about, that's the that's the thing that Lee had. Lee left a lasting impression and created this because of that first interaction with him, and what that he told me that I had a voice that needed to be heard and a story that needed to be shared. So he started this, and I'm just really glad that we got those moments too, Paula. And I'm really glad that I was able to keep my promise to you and have you as one of the first people on because I was like, I don't want, I don't want her to be mad at me. And
And
you
you literally
asked
say
me.
that in there, like this. Peach said she'll be mad at me if I don't bring a file, so here we go. But I love it, and I'm glad I stood at that because after a few more people, he was tired, which is
Mm-hmm.
understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and he had to go, even though the episode was there for him to listen and
Mm-hmm.
rewatch and everything. I feel like the fact that I said it to his face and to
Yeah.
also hear his excitement of me being there, me being the person who is sharing this was
Yeah.
everything. And I'll take that. And I'm glad I was a bitch to you about making sure you had me
No,
among the first
you
people.
weren't. You weren't. You're actually like the only one who really asked to make sure that you're on first. And so I wanted to make sure that I obliged you because you actually asked me and I know how much Lee meant to you. So I wanted you to be on. But we've been like wrapping this up for like a while, so let's like
I
really,
know,
really wrap this
cause
up.
you yap, you yap a
We
lot.
both do.
Cooper said I
We
was
both
following
do.
Paula but not connected with her yet. Well, Cooper, I connected with you and I sent you a message. Cooper, are you single? How old are you? You look like a young kid.
He's cute.
I
Sorry,
know.
Cooper. I hope you're not
I
married.
I know. That's why I asked. Are you single and how old are you? Like
I don't
he
care
looks
about
like
age, Cooper.
it
As
looks
long as
like
you're over 18.
it looks like he could be in his 20s, and he looks like he probably has a high school sweetheart he's engaged to. And if I'm wrong, God tell me I'm wrong, because my instincts are always right. But Cooper, you seem like you're in your 20s and
No,
engaged.
Cooper is way too deep to be in his 20s. I think Cooper just looks young like we do.
Old souls, don't underestimate age with a soul. Just because somebody's certain age doesn't mean they can't have a soul. And age is
So,
just a number. Even those grown folks who they are 50, they still act like kids, some of them. Like, fuck these niggas. I'm
true, they
sorry.
never really grow up. I agree with
Exactly.
you.
There's a lady who once told me, Paula, any man is literally them moving from their house, their mama's house to their wife's house.
Mhm.
So they're still gonna be babies because they
Yeah.
expect their wives to cater to them. So
Yeah. It's so I
wrap it
I do
up,
have to
bitch. Wrap it
say
up.
so let me do it. I'm about to put you on mute, girl. No, let me stop.
I'm gonna
Um
put myself
I
on.
just no, I can't even. Okay. I just have to say, wow, what a wonderful, powerful, and perfect and just fun kickoff for season two. Paula, we have laughed, we have cried, we have reminisced, we have done everything under the sun. And I just want to thank you again. I just still getting the last word in, girl. Dang. So I just have to say, I'm gonna show your comments. So you can still comment while I'm wrapping up. But once again, Cooper, Jennifer, Tim, everyone, Sue, James, everyone who tuned in for
Mark.
Mad Professor, Antoinette, Mark, um, everyone who tuned in tonight and everyone who's going to watch the replay. I just want to say thank you so much for all your support. It means more than you know. Um, Paula, I can't say enough. Your energy, the conversation tonight. This is what Blue Couch Chat is supposed to be about. Like, it's supposed to be fun, real, vulnerable, genuine, unscripted conversations between two friends. So, thanks for joining me on the couch tonight. I hope that we have you on even more. I hope this is not the first and last because this is great.
Oh,
Um,
bitch, this is the last time
I
you
want to
put me on mute.
You put yourself on mute. Don't come blaming me now. Um, I do want to say, Paula, thank you for your realness, your vulnerability, you're allowing me to be real and vulnerable and share things that I never thought I would ever share on here, but I wanted to. Um, and for just reminding us that it's okay to not be okay, that tears are strength, and to check on your strong friends. And also that we need to make sure that our cup is not only full, as you say, but overflowing before we can fill other people and be there for other people. And so I'm just so grateful for all of the wisdom and all of the advocacy that you have shared tonight. Um, I know that your story and your strength and everything that you shared tonight and everything that you continue to share are going to resonate with so many people who needed to hear this today, as it has me. I really needed this more than I even knew. So thank you. To everyone watching and everyone who will be watching the replay, thank you for being a part of this community. Whether you've been here since season one, and our first episode with Lee, which, as Paula said, was special. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch the replay. Zuckerberg did delete all of my episodes off of Facebook, but I have since put them back. So please go and watch them and like them and
I
comment and
mean, they did
share.
give a notice. I'm just saying.
I have too much going on. I didn't
It,
get a chance, and
so
I
that's
didn't know
on
how to
you.
preserve the lives. No, but I did download them and I have them on YouTube, so I was able to reshare them. But I didn't know how to save the lives though. It didn't
You're
let you
yapping
save
too
them.
much again. This wrap up is taking
You
forever. I'm
came
just
on. You
saying.
came on and
Even
interrupted
even
me.
even before I
So
came on to interrupt you, your wrap up is too long. Go ahead.
okay, okay. Anyway, so I do want to say, whether, as I said, whether you've been here since season one, episode one, or you're just joining us now, thank you, and I hope that you'll continue to watch. If this is your first time on the couch, we see you, we appreciate you, and we're so glad you're here. Like you, Cooper, thank you so much. Tim, thank you for joining us and always supporting me and always showing up for me. I love you, bro, fam. You have a special place in my heart. If today's episode moved you, helped you, or made you feel a little less alone, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us to keep the conversation going and to reach more folks who need it, especially people who look like us, who don't always know that it's okay to reach out for help or where. We're just getting started. This is just episode one, and this is only season two. So I promise there's more healing, more truth, more shit, and more love coming your way this season, as well as all the seasons to come. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. And please remember that I'm always looking for guests. You don't have to be a cancer survivor or a colorectal cancer survivor. You just need to be a survivor of life, like we all are. And everybody
And be
has a
able to
story
talk
that needs to
shit.
be, basically, and everyone has a story that needs to be shared, and everyone has a voice that needs to be heard. So just reach out to me. I'd love to have you on the couch. And just thank you, thank you, thank you. So we do have
Can you
more
also
things
tell her
coming
to
up in
go
the
get a blue
future.
couch? Cause
That is, the studio is under construction. The couch, I have the couch. The studio is under
I
construction in
love
the other room
holding her
still.
accountable. She
It's
has
it's
told me
happening.
that privately, and
It's
I've
happening.
actually seen it. But I just love holding her accountable.
It is coming, but this works for now. So we'll keep working on it. Tim, thank you. This has been an incredible show. And like I said,
Should
in
we
my wrapping
should
up
we
the
come
wrap up,
should we come to Miami and paint the green into blue?
no, because
Have
then
you ever
then my blue will blend in if it's all blue.
have
But
you
see,
ever thought
I
about
have my
spray?
blue.
Yeah, but have you ever thought about putting spray paint into the blue, or just with the green and taking a spray paint and writing BCC blue cat chat?
I actually have a sign, a neon sign that says "Welcome to the shit show," but I'm not sure if that's too much. So y'all, can you
I
please put that in the comments? Let me know if that's too
that's
much or not.
that's too much because I get why it says welcome to the shit show, but you're gonna lose your brand because again your brand is the blue card chat, right? And we wanna make that a thing. But if you bring welcome to the shit show, people are gonna talk about shit show instead of blue couch
I
chat.
agree. That's why I didn't want to do it. But
Yeah, I feel
I will
like
be getting a
on
blue
the
couch
green,
chat sign.
I feel like I don't think you even need a sign. I feel like get a blue spray pen, trust me, and just write BCC across so that it still remains green and
Mhm.
the spray chat brings the BCC out of it. I don't know. I'm
Or
just
maybe it's
saying.
just the two chat boxes spray painted on.
Hmm?
Maybe it's just the two chat boxes spray painted on with the
No,
BCC.
no, no. Don't overthink
Okay,
or overdo
we'll
it.
see. We'll see. Okay.
BCC. Make BCC a thing, a hashtag a thing, because that's your thing. And
Yeah,
I'm talking to you as a merchandiser person who buys merch and creates merch. I'm telling you, but yeah.
I
Don't say I
agree.
didn't give you free nuggets. I'm just telling you, because next time you come to me, I'm charging you, bitch.
I love you, girl. I just want to say again, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. And like I said, there are things that will be coming this season. I have gotten some good equipment and
Tim
I'll
says
be
we should
making this
all
better.
visit Miami. Didn't we try
Yes.
it? Didn't we try it, Tim? I feel like we were
Not
all
with
in Miami.
Tim.
No, we were
Not with
all
Tim.
not Miami, but it kind of
Podfest.
is. No, we can't. Liz funeral, Tim was there. We were all there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't Podfest. It was, and we went to dinner together.
That's true.
So
That's true. Tim is amazing. Paula, I just want to thank you again for joining me. And like I said, I hope that we continue to have more conversations
I'll
because
think about it.
he wants chicken nuggets. Somebody send Tim some chicken nuggets, please. But I love you, girl, and I really am glad that you were on
You've been
tonight.
wrapping this shit up for 16
We're
minutes. Well
done.
done.
We're done. I
I,
do. God,
I love you.
Tim. I love you, girl, and
What
I
did
hope to
Tim
see you
say?
soon. Thank you again. He says I am pretty amazing. He's also very humble, guys.
Yeah, very humble, very humble too. How about y'all pull up in Atlanta for VidFest? Come to my city and have some.
Send me the info. I'll do my best to be there.
I'm making Zach come. I have to call Zach tomorrow. Zach, I love Zach, y'all. And I'm trying to
Me
get him to
too.
find me a Greek man. Zach, where my Greek man at? Did you want us to be family? Zach is like, I'm already exhausted about Paul. I don't know if we can be family. But Zach, you're already my family, motherfucker. I'm just saying. But
Yo, did I ever
I,
tell you that I pranked Zach? I pranked Zach
hmm?
at Tim's event. I pranked Zach so bad at Tim's event because we were staying in an
How did you
Airbnb.
prank
And it
him?
was so he and Brian O'Sullivan, I don't know if you know Brian O'Sullivan, but he's a cancer survivor. He and Brian were staying in the attic, and it was this really creepy Airbnb. And so I went upstairs and Zach was downstairs in the bathroom and I was talking to Brian and I was like, hey, Zach's coming back from the bathroom. Turn off the lights. And I went in the corner because I'm so short that I was able to go into like the little tiny corner that you wouldn't expect anybody to be in. And it was really dark. And Zach came up and he was getting into his bed and I just like scraped the wall like this. And he was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And like and then I kind of like started like crawling on the floor and it was dark so he's just seeing me crawling on the floor. Oh my god, he damn near had a heart attack because it was like I looked like something straight from the ring in the dark. It was hilarious. So
I love
yeah,
me
I pranked
some
Zach.
Zach. Zach is amazing and
He is.
he checks on me, he asks about my dad. I love him. And funny enough, right?
Tim, really? Like we've been trying to wrap up for the past 3 hours.
What did Tim
Really?
say?
Let's make this a 6 hour show.
Shut up, Tim. We're trying to leave, okay? Well, we're now sharing Zach's stories, okay? But Zach is an awesome person, like, and believe it or not, after he shared on Lee's funeral, well, Lee's celebration of life, not funeral,
Mm-hmm.
when he shared that Lee used to send him country music, I'd be sending Zach some country music because I love country music and I listen to country music. And I'm like, well, now I guess it's my job now since Lee is no longer here. And I was like, no, I hate country music. I'm like, I don't care. You said Lee used to do it, and now I'm your new best friend, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So I send him country music every now and then, just because.
I
But I
agree,
love
Tim.
Zach.
Zach is incredible, and I met Zach before I even knew that he was Lee's best friend. And so to know Zach and then to know Lee and then to know that they were bro fam, like it just made so much sense. Then
And,
I love Zach.
and I didn't know that part, but when I found out that Zach, because of Lee, started going to supportive groups to find out how he can support his friend, that was like,
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
is
That's
what you
how I
call
met
a
him.
friend. I was like, this
Hmm.
is what you call a friend because you don't need to, you don't have to, but it was processing it in ways that he could, but also
Hmm.
show up for his friend in ways he could, and learning
Hmm.
how to do that. And
Hmm.
he didn't have to ask him like, "How can I show up for you?" And this is why
He
I
just
tell
did.
people, the people who really want to be there will find ways. I I don't need you to ask me how can I be supportive or whatever. Go Google, go find out. Zach went and find out supportive groups and went to supportive groups and showed up for his best friend. And that speaks volume. But then again, Greek people are always like that.
Yeah, but Zach is just that's how I met Zach. He was at Tim's event and he was talking about his best friend. And then I it took me a while to connect that he was talking about Lee. And I was just like, "Oh my god." Like, like when that connection happened, I was like, "Wow." Yeah, it just it takes a special person to be that kind of friend for someone. And
We all
I'm
need
really
people
glad
like
that they had
that.
each other. I'm
They
really glad they
did.
had each other.
And I love that they had that, and have been trying to hijack their cigar club.
But we do have to wrap this up, so I do want to put
Yeah,
the
bye,
outro up.
motherfuckers.
Love you.
Cut it off, bitch.
Oh, hold on. Tim said the whole Zach Lee Tim Shannon connection is crazy, and he says that we should do live for 12 hours. I think that'd be a cool fundraiser. Let's talk about that. Love you, love you, love you, and take care. I love you, Paula.
Tim, if you're gonna send wine bottles to my house, I can do 24 hours. But as soon as my wine ends or my beer ends, I'm done. So you have to send those big ass bottles, like two, three or four for 24 hours. If you send that, I can go for 24 hours. But now that my wine is over, I'm ready. Like, fuck it, why am I here? No, I know why I'm
Love
here
you.
and I appreciate it. I, I I somehow feel like I need to explain myself because some people might watch this and they don't get my sarcastic or
You're
my
fine.
sense of humor. So
Tim
I
says they're on
feel
the way.
go to bed, Tim. Go to bed.
I love you,
But
Paula.
I love the 24-hour
Live stream.
fundraiser. We should definitely do that. And then in every hour or 2 hours, you have people coming in. That way, even people in different cities, depending on their time slot. So when they're free, they
Hmm.
pop in, they pop off. We continue and go on. I love it. Shout out to DC who started March Madness, and we did it this year at Podfest, but the year before, like they do it at a certain date and it goes for 3 days. I think that there's some weekend there, but they do it for 3, 4 days where they live stream 24/7. Like it
I
doesn't go
would
and you're
love
not
to
allowed
do
to play
that.
songs, whatever, whatever. this year Joe got to participate because we were at Podfest while we were doing it, which I think the first day started on the last day of Podfest or the second last day of Podfest. So we were able to get some people from Podfest chime in and everything. But yeah.
Tim's counting up to something. I don't know what, but he's counting
Cut
up. So
cut down because we have been saying we are out. So baby, cut it off. Cut it off.
yes. So I love you, girl. Let's talk about the 24-hour fundraiser. And call me, Tim, call me, Suey, I'll call you in a few. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been perfect, and I'm so glad that I reached out to you, and thank you so much for obliging me. It means the world to me that you're on tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you, girl. All the kisses and all the hugs and all the love. Take care. This is where I need Tim. I'm trying to get my outro to play.